142-134.
Despite the L yesterday, Sacramento Kings are still in the hunt to hoist that coveted Pacific Division banner. They'll get another crack at it tomorrow on the road in the Big Easy, squaring up with the Pelicans of New Orleans.
Come on, Pelicans!
Of course, our exclusive Kings game night coverage tips off tomorrow as an afternoon matinee showcasing at 3:30 right here on Sacktown Sports and on our Sacktown Sports app.
Let's get it.
I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Welcome into Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson in studio for Cattles.
Not the boring, generic milquetoast stuff coming from the network in Connecticut.
I describe him as the best, obviously.
Cattles.
He throws it out there. Speaks his mind. That's cool.
And Ramie.
He's supposed to make people laugh. He's just an expert at it.
Cattles and Ramie. Live and local in the afternoon.
Sacktown Sports.
Oh, yeah, that's the show. Happy Monday to everybody. No Cattles, Jay Johnson, Double J. Sometimes we just call him Jay. He has many names. He slides into the host chair. Simone on the other side of the glass, as always. Kyle in for Jay, who's in for Nick. I'm Ramie. That's the thing that's in the title. Ramie.
Man, you got skills there, Ramie.
Appreciate you, Jay. It's going to be a fun afternoon coming up today. We'll get into all this nonsense from the NCAA women's final a little later this hour. We're going to go around the Western Conference. Plenty to get to throughout this afternoon, including lots of Kings talk. And that's where we start this afternoon as they I did not think I'd come in here on Monday saying this. Fall to the Spurs in overtime, 142-34. Spurs get their 20th win of the season. And Jay, I don't want what I'm about to say to be misconstrued, to be taken out of context, to be blown out of proportion, okay? And I don't know if I have to give this disclaimer every time we do anything even somewhat negative when it comes to the Sacramento Kings, all right?
Y'all can, not me, though.
Okay, I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I'm not saying season's over because they lost. Okay, I'm not saying any
Time
of
to
that.
rebuild.
Time to rebuild, trade
Already?
Doma.
Yeah,
No, I'm not saying any of that. Okay, it's been a great season that has exceeded anybody's expectations, even the most optimistic. Okay,
Hold on, baby.
but for where they're at, and for that being the case, last night was as bad a loss as it could be.
That's the first time I've heard you say this, Ramie, all season, I think.
Does that make sense? That in the context of how good this season is going, last night was as bad a loss as they could have. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. Because, man, you're playing a team they're watching Victor Wembanyama highlights on the sideline. You know, like this is a team
During the game?
Yes. That wants nothing to do with winning basketball games.
During the game.
Jay, I can't lie to you, all right? And people might call me a casual. At Ramie is tweeting on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Sacktown Sport. Call me a casual. I don't care. I was making dinner, so I had one ear on the TV, you know, while I was making dinner.
What were you making, brother?
Game. I was making some lobster mac and cheese, Jay.
Okay,
it's the best mac and cheese I've ever made. The best mac.
Really quickly, what kind of cheese too? I need to know the cheese as well.
There were 7 cheeses.
Oh my God!
There were 7 cheeses. There was a 4-cheese Mexican blend.
Okay.
There was a Fontina, Parmesan, and American cheese.
Wow.
So 7 cheeses, lobster. I poached the lobster.
Jesus.
I used a liquid from poaching the lobster to boil the macaroni, then used that liquid to then thin out the cheese sauce so there was lobster taste throughout. It was amazing. And did I mention
Sounds
7
amazing.
cheeses?
Wow. Top chef.
Back to what I was saying about the Kings.
I don't care about the Kings. That's not good.
So I have one ear on the game, right? And I hear the name Julian Champagne.
Who?
Julian Champagne.
Oh, okay.
And Jay, I swear to God, I was like, is this some rapper I don't know about who's sitting in the front row? I did not know who the hell Julian Champagne was till he came out last night and got 26 points on 28 minutes on the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, Sacramento Kings, on 9 of 14 shooting.
Man.
That shouldn't happen, man. That just should not happen. Trey Jones logged a triple-double. Trey Jones logged a triple-double. Doug McDermott rose from the dead.
Dougie McBuckets.
In his 9th season in the NBA and posted his 4th career 30-point game. And Jay, you did this in front of a crowd that was amped up. It was the first chance they got to see their guys since clinching their first playoff berth in 17 years. You could have been one game out of the 2 seed if you just go out there and take care of business. You can't lose that game the way that they lost that game. That's as bad as that loss can be in the context of how good this season has been.
It was absolutely a sellout crowd as well, which is disappointing.
Hyped. Get in 800-920-1140 is how you can call. Text 916-339-1140. You can always comment youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. Jay, am I exaggerating? Am I hyperbolizing all this?
Well, let me attack it in two different ways. Did you know who
Julian Champagne was?
No, I didn't. I mean, no disrespect to Julian. He is the type of cat that you want to Google and hope he has a Wikipedia page.
No disrespect as we mispronounce his name.
Yeah, and so the part of that situation is Champagne is a cat that
getting closer.
Well, listen, man, there's a reason why we're doing this, Kyle. Sit back and relax on the other side of the glass while we give you this game real quick, my man. The part of the situation is this is a cat that we have never heard of, and as you eloquently said here about the Spurs, that they probably didn't even know this young man was at the end of their bench, and that's part of the situation in losing to the Spurs. I will say this when it comes to the bad loss situation.
Greg Popovich was like, "Who
is that cat?" He's from the where? Austin Spurs. We signed him where? How? Yeah. I mean, I get it, man. I understand it. I understand the fact that this. I think this is where lies the issue, and I have 3 issues, and I'm gonna try to lay them out as quickly as possible.
Take your time.
Yeah. The first part of it is just kind of what, if we go back to this past week, the Kings had the opportunity to clinch the playoffs, and it was right here in front of. At the G1C in front of Kings fans, which they've been looking for and trying to see this feat happen many years. It didn't happen here. So that was the first letdown, right? The second letdown to me was the fact that they then, after the whole crazy part, and we got to talk about this. No disrespect, and I'm with all the fandom situation.
That's the second no disrespect.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what I've understood in this situation is most of the time I get disrespectful, right? And I don't mind being disrespectful, right? So I try to make sure that we paint the proper picture. But for all the fans that went out there and rocked at the airport, salute to you because y'all better than me.
Okay.
Right. And so with that happening, and then this kind of the receiving of the Kings making the playoffs for all the Kings fans and all the media that was able to go to Portland and see and bask in that type of glory. Coming back here, I believe when you hear and see how the reaction of Kings fans have happened, you kind of heard it a little bit in our morning show. You kind of hear it in Simone a little bit. They were expecting this thing to be rocking, and this was supposed to be kind of like the cherry on top after the clinch, right? And so that's the downfall for the Kings, the second part. Now, the third part for me is, and this is where I come in, I'm going to follow in, I guess, Nick Cattle's space, so to say, with the Grinch situation. It wasn't a big loss, man. You know why? Because it didn't matter. It doesn't change anything with the record. They still have games to follow up. It doesn't really matter when it comes into the standings. It was a loss. It was a bad loss. It was a trap game. It was something that happened. It's something that happens to all teams throughout the season. And it's no big deal for me.
I agree with you.
I get what you're saying.
I agree with you. It's a trap game.
Absolutely. I respect that. I told you I'm not the Grinch. That's Nick. I'm Max. No problem.
It was for sure a trap game. And Jay, I on the record on Friday, I said the Kings wouldn't cover the spread against the Blazers because they had that night in between the 2 games to celebrate the playoff berth. They covered the spread and then some. I think they won that game by like 35 points.
That's because Portland's really not trying. San Antonio, Julian, they're still trying.
But I also think there's a chance that it's a bad Spurs team you're looking at on the other side there, and you're going, just roll the ball out and we got this one. But also some of those guys might have held off the celebration until they got home and saw their people.
True.
Agreed. And you had that night in Sacramento to come back, and you come back to the airport, and it's hype, and the fans are there, and they're pumping you up. You know what I mean? It could be easy to get caught up in all that. And again, I'm not saying you said it's not a big deal. To me. At this point in the season, like I want 50. I think the 2 seed is something they should still be striving for, and I think helps a lot in the playoff road they're going to have to travel. We'll get more into that a little later on in the show, but Cole G points it out right here, and I was just about to say this as he said it in the YouTube chat, and give us those thumbs up while you're there at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. 2 opportunities to give the home crowd a big win at home. You're 0-2. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we're going to talk about, because Coach Brown called them out about how they played on their home court. And we're going to talk about that at 3:00. But you have a home court series in the first round of the playoffs. You get the 2 seed, you're guaranteed 2 home court series if you can advance. And like Cole G says right there, you had 2 chances with the wind at your back, and the wind being a pumped up Golden One center at your back, 1 where you could have clinched it, and 2 where you came home for the coronation and the celebration of the first playoff berth in 17 plus years. And you couldn't ride that wave, man. You couldn't deliver that for your home crowd. To me, not a great sign for what will be a home court advantage in a playoff series, that you can't capitalize on this stuff, man. Those crowds were ready to celebrate and ready to rock and pop some champagne. Kyle Draper wasn't, but the fans were ready to pop some champagne and celebrate this thing. And both times, the Kings just could not light that final fuse to set off the fireworks show. You know what I mean?
I think in the grander scheme, what you're saying, Ramie, is in the big picture of looking forward for this team and the belief in this team. And this is something that you and Nick and everyone on our station and the community has talked about, and we're going to talk about a little bit today. But this is something that I've been saying on this show for a while is there, we have to temper expectations and understand who the Kings really are. And in reality, we really don't know who that is. No one expected the Kings but the Kings to be where they are. And that's the truth. And so to expect the fact that they're supposed to clinch games, to expect the fact that, they're going to ride the wave and bring the momentum. Well, I think they're still learning too. And Mike Brown has said that, and he said that a couple of times. It's like, look, we can't do this. We can't do that. We're walking around here like we are this. We're not that. And if he sees that every single day, and I'm just keeping it in the general forms, then why as Kings fans, why as people who host a radio show, why as people who are onlookers, if he's in the building every single day taking rides with these guys, talking to their families, then why are we kidding ourselves to feel like some of these big games that we consider big games for them to fail sometime? They've won a lot of big games. And I think the last couple times they've had the opportunity, they failed. And now I start to see, here we go. Now we're starting to hear the Kangs again. Now we're starting to see some of these fans come out and be like, oh my goodness, here we go. We had opportunities 0-2. Okay, but let me tell you something. In the position that you're in right now, guess what's going to happen, Ramie? And you just talked about it. You're going to have another opportunity to have a big game. Yep. And then we'll see what happens. Yep. And then when we cross that finish line, we'll talk about it then.
Some of your comments at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. Amadrock says recipes by Ramie. I did have a recipe page on a website at a previous station.
Was it a blog, like a Vine?
I just put up a recipe.
Was it on your MySpace?
Just put up a recipe every week on the station's website.
Why are we not doing that?
I'll do that again for the right sponsorship.
Come on now.
If you're out there. YouTube.com.
You got your paprika right, Ramie?
Oh,
you got your seasonings right? Okay.
Yeah, I got the Old Bay. I got it all.
Seems like a
I got it all. Let's see. Cole G says Kevin is career night. Kevin Herter was all right last night. I don't know, man. That loss, that was a bit of a gut punch for me last night. And again, in the context of, yes, it's been a great season, and no, that's not the end of a great season by any stretch. I just thought you had a real opportunity last night, man, to capitalize on a pumped up home crowd. Could have gained a game in the 2 seed. You had a punching bag on the other side in the San Antonio Spurs. Like, there was a lot about that game that had win written all over it, and the Kings just threw up all over themselves. Am I overstating things? You can always get in on the show. 800-920-1140 is how you can call. Text 916-339-1140, and you can always comment. youtube.com/Sacktown Facebook.com/Sacktown Sports. Jay in for Nick, and we're back in 90 seconds.
The Sacramento Kings are finally returning to the NBA playoffs.
It's been 6 years, so people saw me when I came in the league at 19, and they see who I am at 25 now. So I just want to say thank you for being along this journey with me. But like I said, we have a lot more things to accomplish.
Tune into Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the most in-depth Kings coverage in the 916.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course is Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Players love Bartley Kavanaugh's fun design and great mixture of holes. Near the banks of the Sacramento River, Bartley Kavanaugh's moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas make for an affordable and fun round of golf. Bartley Kavanaugh offers a great pro shop, help planning your tournament or wedding, and a relaxing outdoor veranda for a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports.
That's the show. Jay in for Nick today. I am the Ramie half of Cattles and Ramie. Kings fall to the Spurs yesterday, 142 to 134 in overtime. Man, they scored 123 points in regulation and lost to the Spurs.
Took that L.
To the Spurs. Made Dougie
Frustrated and angry.
Made Doug McDermott look like Dougie McBuckets again. You know what I mean? You can't have that.
Where did it go? He's always been Dougie McBuckets.
You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. It's like Kevin and Kayvon. He hasn't been Dougie. Dude, that's his 4th triple-double ever in 9 years.
Man.
You let him put up his 4th triple-double ever.
I know.
Still a great season.
Of course.
I'm not raining on the parade by any means whatsoever, but that's as bad as a loss can be in the context of how good this season has been. Scout Recycler comments on the YouTube page. If we are still learning who the Kings are, they shouldn't be charging $800 for
that's where I say it's a bad loss. Straight up. Because I'm with you. Hey, but you got to understand going into it, and that's why we have to kind of, I don't want to say tempered expectations because I don't want to put no damper on anybody's spirits. I'm just being realistic about the situation. And that's the problem with fandomonium. That's okay. Do you be that way? But just as we've seen in the last couple of days, hey, sometimes you can be this high and then somebody, whatever happens, you lose or whatever, an injury can bring you right back down. And that's the great part of being a fan and watching things. But with that comes pump back, right, Ramie? You're going to get some realization kicked to you. And that's the thing is there are bad losses in the NBA. There are bad times that you lose during the season. But as a fan, now that's where I got a problem. Look, man, I ain't trying to spend no $800 on the team. I get that. So I'm with the recycler, man. Shouts out to get your $2 bills too when you're recycling, brother.
Yeah, those ticket price. And by the way, they're not even for sale yet. And,
I know.
And the ticket prices are already out of control.
Through the roof.
It's crazy. Jay, how important is it for you though, coming off that loss yesterday, and you got New Orleans, Dallas, Golden State, Denver to close this thing out, that they close out strong and take some momentum into the postseason? Or at this point, is it just about let's finish healthy and fully loaded and ready to go for the playoffs?
I think it's always big to try and finish strong, especially for a team who hasn't really experienced it. And that's kind of what we're talking about when it comes to the Kings. I don't think it's a make or break, but the slate is kind of wiped clean when we go into the playoffs. So that's one thing we know about it is momentum is real in sports. It's huge in sports. It carries a lot of weight in sports. People believe it. And it's one of those things where Dion always says, if you feel good, you play good, you dress good, that whole type of saying. And I think that's part of it. You want to feel good going into the playoffs rather than more or less what it says on paper. And I think the momentum part of it is huge, man. I really do.
And I pointed this out a while back, and honestly, I didn't think that this would hold true till the end of the season. But you look at, and I don't think enough people talk about this, or at least don't talk about it enough. You look at their season to this point, and they haven't had more than 3 losses in a row, more than, I think it's 3 times this season that's happened to them, and it hasn't happened since November.
Yeah.
And I think that not being used to losing a lot of games in a row, not being used to losing 3 games in a row is a really good trait to have. You know what I mean? You don't want to get used to losing. You don't want to get used to 3-4 losses in a row, no matter how it happens. Even if you're just sitting guys, that sort of apathy to losing is something that can set in and can take hold. And I don't know, especially with the team that doesn't have the championship pedigree, that outside of 3-4 guys don't have a ton of playoff experience. I don't trust that they have that ability to just flip that switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you go from, hey man, we got this locked up. Playoff seeding isn't on the line. Got nothing to play for. Losses don't matter. I don't know. I don't trust that they have the ability to just go from that to flip the switch, and every game matters more than any game you've ever played before in your life. You know what I mean?
I do, and I think you kind of answered the question that I was going to say, and I propose it a little more, I guess, directed towards you, Ramie, and for the listeners is, what's the definition of playing well to you? Like, what is to Ramie or the Kings fans who are listening, or Simone or Kyle, what's the definition? Like, does that mean you didn't enter the playoffs on a losing streak? You didn't lose your last game? Is it feeling more emotional, kind of what I'm talking about? Or, how you feel as a team moving forward once the playoffs start? I mean, for me, I think it's more of a feeling and emotional situation compared to, on paper, we lost 2 games going into it. All right. Because again, we get to hit the reset button. It's the regular Nintendo, reset, boom, slap it. So that's the part of that's the great part of the playoffs is you can go in losing 13 straight, but if you make the playoffs, it's okay because we get to reset the button. And you're starting to see some of these teams, and I hate to say it, but man, like the Lakers, they're feeling good. They feel good about what's going on right now.
Yep.
It seems like Minnesota, prior to the loss they had this over the weekend, they were feeling well, especially coming here to Sacramento and getting a W. I think it's more of a feeling. But, I mean, what's your take on playing well?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And it kind of goes back to what I'm saying about that loss last night. Some losses are worse than others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like anytime you lose to a team as bad as the Spurs are, I feel like you weren't competitive enough. You know what I mean? And I just don't want to see this team go down the stretch not being going back to what you're saying about the feeling, not being the most competitive version of themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't see this team not show up for another game. I don't think they showed up last night. I know they put up 123 points in regulation, but on the grading curve of you did that against the Spurs. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that impressed that you put up 123 points in regulation. The fact you lost to the Spurs tells me you didn't show up for work that day. You know what I mean? And I don't think we can I don't want to see any more games in these last 4. Like if it's game 82, the Nuggets don't have any seating on the line. The Kings don't have any seating on the line. And it's a scrimmage of a bunch of bench guys. I get that. That's every major sport. You know what I mean? Where you get to the last game on the regular season schedule, everybody has their spot locked up, and let's just go into if that's the case, okay. But at least these next 3 games, New Orleans, Dallas, Golden State, I want to see the best version of the Kings show up. That might not always result in a W, but I want to feel good about the Kings' performance and effort at the end of the next 3 games.
What if they lose all the games here on out, but they play well? They lose in a heartbreaker, a game winner here.
You're talking about a 5-game losing streak?
Yeah.
That's tough, dude.
Okay. I got you.
That's tough. I think
what if they win? What if they lose the next 2, win 1, lose the Denver game or something? Something of that combination. but they played well. Lost in the game winner, lost on a by a point. They played well.
Let me put a caveat on it.
Okay.
I want competitiveness and 2 wins in these last 4 games.
See, now you're getting greedy.
Competitiveness and 2 wins in these last 4 games. All right, that's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for.
Doesn't matter who they lose to or who they win or who they beat.
I'd like to see them beat Golden State just for the statement. Okay, that might be your first round opponent.
What if they get smoked by Golden State 25? Exactly like Steph Curry said.
That'd be tough, man.
Okay,
I'm not because that's going to leave that in the back of your mind.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I'm just
you're gonna have a little taste on your mouth.
that lobster man.
Yeah. It's going to leave a little taste on your mouth.
Delicatessens.
We'll keep taking your thoughts on the Kings, always at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. People are talking about women's college basketball today, probably more than I've ever seen in my life. And for some of the right reasons, but also for some of all the wrong reasons. We'll talk about that next.
Tune into the Sacktown Sports headlines at the top and bottom of every hour on Thursday and Friday for your official 2023 Masters Tournament leaderboard updates.
The return to glory. Congratulations, Tiger. The long-awaited Masters has a long-awaited champion in Dustin Johnson. Matsuyama. Scheffler outshines them all.
Sacktown Sports coverage of the 2023 Masters Tournament is brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's cheers to the champions. Join us for the 50th anniversary of the 1973 World Series Championship team with a pregame ceremony on Sunday, April 16th. Celebrate Gene Tennis, Vida Blue, Raleigh Fingers, and many more A's legends.
The next pitch deep to right field. It is going. It is gone. Goodbye. Two-run home run by Reggie Jackson.
Tickets are available at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
The clock is ticking. Get off the bench and head down to Fasteners Tool Outlet, where you'll find the lowest prices on Milwaukee power tools and so much more. Why pay more at a big box store? Get a triple-double at Fasteners Tool Outlet with weekly and monthly offers, including up to 50% off select hand tools, batteries, power tools, and fasteners. Whether you're looking for a Festool sander, a Saws top table saw, or a Milwaukee Impact driver, Fasteners Tool Outlet has the tools you need to do the job. Make a slam dunk with Fasteners Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Red Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company Zone 1 report.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $85. Tickets are on sale now at SacktownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning, Bill Eats RV, and Naughty Wood Barbecue.
Baseball is back in Sacramento on Tuesday, April 4th. Join the Sacramento Rivercats at Sutter Health Park for all the pomp and circumstance that the 2023 home opener has to offer. Purchase your tickets today at rivercats.com, and we'll see you on opening night, Tuesday, April 4th.
Sacktown Sports.
Headlines. It's Simone Rickford with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Less than ideal result from the Beam team yesterday.
The San Antonio Spurs have come into Sacramento. They have avoided a season sweep at the expense of Sacramento, and they get a victory, 142 to 134.
Despite the L yesterday, Sacramento Kings are still in the hunt to hoist that coveted Pacific Division banner. They'll get another crack at it tomorrow on the road in the Big Easy, squaring up with the Pelicans of New Orleans.
Pelicans play. Come on, Pelicans.
Of course, our exclusive Kings game night coverage tips off tomorrow as an afternoon matinee showcasing at 3:30 right here on Sacktown Sports and on our Sacktown Sports app. Tons to get into. NCAA hot takes. Henry the High Flyer Turner joins us at 4:30. And of course, all of your hard-hitting NBA analysis your heart desires. And it's all coming at you on Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Now back to Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson in studio for Cattles.
Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports.
You heard Simone in the update. Jay in for Nick Cattles today. By the way, Simone, props for putting the Scarface clip.
Thank you.
Fly, Pelican, fly. Love
Pelican,
that.
fly.
Love that scene.
I got to make it weird and funny for
It's a
people,
great
you know?
scene. And
Thank you.
We appreciate your weirdness and your funniness.
My
Simone.
creative liberties that Nick doesn't appreciate. Just
Yesterday,
kidding.
championship game in the women's NCAA championship tournament between LSU and Iowa. And don't take this the wrong way.
I'm taking it the wrong way, Ramie.
It's not because I'm sexist or a misogynist. I didn't watch the game. It's because I don't really do the college sports. Okay, that's all it is. I just don't.
So you're not watching championship today, huh, Ramie?
And we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
All right. Not going to support
Putting you on the spot there.
We'll get to that a little bit later. But I'd be a fool not to recognize the attention, the buzz, the chatter that the women's tournament got this year. I saw one of the Final Four games. I think it was LSU and South Carolina. Their ratings on ESPN were bigger than any NBA game has gotten so far.
Well,
this
LSU
year.
played Virginia Tech.
Iowa, South Carolina.
Iowa, South Carolina. Sorry, my bad. Iowa, South Carolina.
See, we're helping you out. We know you weren't on top of it.
I just don't know these things.
It's all good.
But the women's game is blowing up, Jay. It's growing. It's blowing up. You look at these college ratings. You look at WNBA ratings. But let me just, before we get into the nonsense and the drama and the sideshow that people made out of some of the stuff that went on in yesterday's game, let me just ask you, was it a good game? Was it a good basketball game for college basketball fans?
I mean,
okay.
Typical. You know,
I heard the refs were terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, when aren't they?
Okay.
When aren't they?
All right.
We just had that conversation on the show last couple of weeks. You guys have talked about it. We find ourselves, talking about refereeing and officials and umpires left and right.
Way too much.
Way
too much. I saw Kim Mulkey ran out onto
That
court
part.
Yeah.
and
Wow.
karate chopped a ref.
No problem. No
There was
problem
no
here.
technical for that.
Yeah,
and
man.
Kaylin Clark passed the ball to a ref after she got a foul call, and and they gave her a tech. I was like,
Yep.
what? I just saw this on Twitter, and I was confused by what I was seeing. Was that indicative of how the whole game was? Were they just that bad all game?
Well, I saw bits and parts and clips of it.
Okay.
It was kind of like background noise for me.
Sure.
That type of situation. Like, oh, okay, look, oh man, I hear some loud. Somebody must be doing something well. So I can't be the person to sit up here. Maybe Simone, did you watch it, Kyle?
I watched the whole game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I will say, well, first, I'm not going to start on Kim Mulkey. That's a whole bag I'm not going to open. But second, if you like high-scoring basketball, it was fun.
Yes.
Jasmine Carson for LSU had one 3-pointer
Off
in the
bench.
first 4 games of the they're calling her LSU Ice Spice because of her incredible hair.
Blonde. Yep.
You know what Ice Spice is, right,
Yes.
Ramie? It's not Julian Champagne.
Yes, I went by the
Yeah,
Ice
it's not
Spice.
her.
Yeah.
It is, Ice Spice is a rapper. Okay.
So Jasmine Carson had made 1 3-pointer. I think in the last 3 or 4 games, she hit 5 in the first half
Go
for
on.
LSU.
Damn.
It was a good game, I thought.
Okay. But the thing that everybody is talking about today is Angel Reese.
Yeah.
And I feel like antics is even too insulting a way to put. She was talking trash, man. She was talking that talk
She was
out there on the basketball court like we see all the time in the sport of basketball. And some of it was directed to Caitlin Clark. There was one moment they were lined up for a free throw, and she was pointing at a ring finger when the game was locked up, and she was doing the "you can't see me" celebration. That Caitlin Clark has kind of become known for over the course of her tournament run, and it was just Angel Reese like giving it back to her, which again, we see this all the time, but for some reason, I can't put my finger on it. Yep. For some reason, I don't know.
What finger are you trying to put on the ring finger?
Some people were calling it disrespectful, classless, etc., etc. This was Angel Reese's response afterwards.
I'm happy. I mean, all year I was critiqued about who I was. Nobody. The narrative. I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year. But when other people do it, y'all don't say nothing. So this was for the girls that look like me, that's going to speak up on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for it was just bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is going to go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I've helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited. So I'm looking forward to celebrating in the next season.
Is this what is all the blowback that she's getting, in your opinion? Jay, Simone, would love your thoughts on this as well. Is all the blowback that she's getting is the people who think she's, as she put it, quote unquote, too hood? Is that what all this blowback is about with Angel Reese?
Well, I'm going to take a step back on this first, because I think this is why we have Simone on the show, Ramie. Yeah. I think these are the reasons, not to be, I don't want to be so upfront and just like, hey, Simone, jump on that. But I do think there's an opportunity sometimes for us to take a back seat.
For sure. I mean, I am a woman of color. This is a very important subject matter, and there is discrepancies about, the way that some, they're colleagues. They can exist on this plane and be amazing basketball players, and there are stipulations held for one student athlete that isn't held for another athlete. And, it's just very difficult, and we all just need to be a little bit more mindful of how to navigate this better for everyone. It's just really frustrating that she is receiving this kind of blowback when we usually celebrate it otherwise. So I don't know. It's really frustrating.
I couldn't honestly believe it. Like, because to me,
the reactions of others.
Yeah, because to me, it's just so blatant. It's so out there,
black and white.
It's thank you, Simone. It does, because literally on SportsCenter 2 days ago, Jay, they did a whole
thing.
They did a whole profile piece on Caitlin Clark and all her trash talk.
Yes,
and how great a thing it is.
Yes,
and
teammates, everything.
Yep. And then God forbid, if you're black and from Baltimore, maybe it's more problematic. It's terrible.
Sometimes I'm just, and I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be. And I don't know if you guys still are experiencing it from your side. I'm blown away by how obvious it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? This stuff I thought was more veiled. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But to me, it's just so blatant and so obvious and so out there of why she's catching the flack that she's catching for doing something we see all the time in the sport.
You know what's bananas about all of it is, and we're going to continue this because it'll never change. At least I'm going to say this. I don't want to be negative, but I think in my lifetime, what we've come through and what we've known of our history of throughout the world and our country, especially, it'll never change. I'll never see the change. Right. Mm-hmm. So I just pray that my daughter does, and for other generations behind that. But you know what it is, Ramie? She fits the profile. She truly fits the profile.
Yep.
And when you fit the profile, and to answer your question, is it surprising, or is it something like, oh my goodness? Nothing surprises me in this world. Nothing surprises me because I am a product of my environment. Being that I've caused some of that of my product, and I've lived some of that product, right? When you and you're a minority, Ramie, so you understand that situation, right?
Right.
And so it doesn't surprise me because we live in that reality every day. It's just some of us live in that reality a little more than others.
Right.
And we always talk about that. So that's nothing new. I'm not breaking news, you know.
Right.
It's just we have things in our world that always, again, here I go, hit the reset button. And it reminds us one more time, oh, you know what, that's there. And you know what, oh, it's a pocket full of roses and posies, but then here comes our reset button again. It's like, oh my goodness, yeah, that is. It's the elephant in the room.
Right.
You know, no matter if it's a small one or a big one. And that's the thing is, you know, it's not great about this, because I don't want to say great. Great's not the proper word. But what's interesting about this is the outcome of the game and the situation that we're talking about. It's caused some people who are celebrities, who are influencers, who are people of interest, who are considered people of interest and celebrities, and we don't know why they are that. Like, Kim Kardashian. But and it's allowed some of their true colors to slip again. And just as I said, some of the things that we wash off or we forget about, and like we know this person is that, but because they're in the sports world, or because they do something well, or because they can sing, they can hold a note, we forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden, every so often, something happens, and now we're like, oh yeah, I forgot.
That's right.
No, and that's what we're saying is that's kind of what Simone is saying, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Simone.
Mm-hmm.
People of color like yourself, people of status quo, right? Because it's not always about color. It's not always about their wealth. Mm-hmm. It's not all about where you come from. And she just used, look, I'm from the hood, I'm from the ghetto, I look the part or whatever. There's other different forms of this, right? Yeah. It's always something that reminds us, like, you know what? We still haven't figured that just out yet. And the people who continue to get away, make money, who are celebrities, who are in the know, and we just all support them. And now I appreciate things like this, because now they have to answer to it again.
Right. Right.
And now there's opportunity for others to really see their true colors and really see who they are. And that's the thing about it is that's what we talk about all the time as minorities, as people in these positions, as, where we always got to hit the reset button and try to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
My last little takeaway from it is, just really imploring people that if, you can look at one person's response, one action of that, you can't see me for Caitlin Clark is not problematic, but you see it as problematic for Angel Reese. Like, we just got to do better. That it's not cool. It's not cool.
And I know we got a break, and I just want to say this because we don't, again, deep discussions is what we have to absolutely have.
Right.
Deep discussions are what is most difficult in our world, and we've seen it. Anyone who wants to argue that, they're wrong, and that's the problem.
And there are people listening right now who are, everything is race, everything is racist.
I just said it wasn't.
Right, exactly. And I'll tell you this, because we do sometimes it does get painted with the broad brush.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm of race, of black and white. There are people who are just no fun. Right?
Truth.
Like people don't want you pimping
You're
a home
stickler,
run, right?
right?
You're just no fun. There are people who turned down that game last night who've never watched a women's basketball game, and they're not used to women being brash and bold and out. They're used, they're more old school, and they're used to demure, quiet. You know what I mean? What women were always taught to be for so long. Those two things were definitely part of the reaction to what Angel Reese was doing yesterday.
For sure.
It wouldn't be the story it is today if she didn't, as Jay put it, fit the profile.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the size of a discussion that we're having today if she didn't fit the profile.
Right. There's so much intersectional work with that too that we have to do.
There are certain people that are just red flags that when they make a comment, I'm like, oh, I know what's going on.
Oh, of course.
And, Dave Portnoy and Clay Travis.
Dude,
I'm just going to put those out
straight
there,
up.
right? So I know exactly what's happening when I see you put your name
100%. I want to end on that, but I also want to make sure that it's sports, man.
Right.
It's entertainment.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. We'll hit a quick break, and after that, some significant good and bad injury news for the Western Conference and as it pertains to the Kings.
Cattles
and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports. Catch every Niners game right here.
It's a new partnership. It's a new day. We're going to be able to build some things together. But let's not fool anybody. This has always been a Niners town.
Here's Purdy out of the gun looking for McCaffrey on the goal line. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports, your official home for 49ers football in the 916.
If you are like the thousands of people that take advantage of March for replacing your heating and cooling system, then this message is for you. Hi, I'm Mario, owner of Attic Man Heating and Air, and March is the most popular month for replacing old, inefficient heating and cooling systems because of milder temperatures and end-of-winter rebates. If you've even contemplating replacing your old AC system, act now. Take advantage of up to 5 years of interest-free financing and 10-year warranties. I know, it sounds way too good to be true, but it is true. 10 years of worry-free operation, but you have to book online today at atticmanhvac.com. Attic Man Heating and Air.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop garage sale of nearly new showroom clubs is on right now. With discounts up to 75%, you'll find full sets of irons, metalwoods, wedges, and more at the Hagen Oaks garage sale featuring $500,000 in Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio closeout inventory. This kind of opportunity is rare and available right now. Visit the Hagen Oaks garage sale and find discounts up to 75% on selected clubs at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?
Andrea's Boutique Hotel is the destination to tie the knot.
Oh, you want the whole property?
She needs an assistant to catch the bookings bouquets.
249 guests, huh? Oh, and 3 dogs.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad gets us through heartache.
Chin up, sport.
Oh, hey, TV Dad.
You know what heals all wounds?
Time?
No, it's remembering that drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
But Jen still doesn't want to be with me.
True. I actually saw her with your friend Brian earlier.
Wait, what? Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
I love this time of year when the azaleas begin to bloom and the singing birds' sweet dawn chorus remind us that blue skies and sunshine are at hand. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. In sports, the definition for the word master is one who's achieved a high degree of skill, and that will be on display in the highly anticipated golf tournament. In the furniture business, a master is a highly skilled craftsman, an artist even, whose work is coveted by those who appreciate design, quality, and durability. John Keyes was the mastermind of Naturewood Home Furnishings. He knew that you wanted your home to reflect your personal style, whether that was a plain coffee table or a masterpiece for you to enjoy forever. That's why when you walk into Naturewood Home Furnishings, you'll find the largest and best selection of the highest quality home furnishings in Northern California. Masterful. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
If the sticker price markups that new car dealers are demanding are scaring you away from a brand new vehicle, you can still get the vehicle you want and save thousands at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. M&S Auto has literally hundreds of gently used but beautiful Silverados, Rams, and Tacomas. And if you love muscle cars, they've got Challengers and Mustangs too. M&S Auto Sales. Great cars and trucks and fair deals every day. Come and get yours. MSAutogroup.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Listen to Oakland A's baseball on the weekends all season long right here on Sacktown Sports, beginning with the pregame show brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Warehouse Paint is where the local pros go for all of their paint project needs. Enjoy same-day turnarounds, same-day color matching, color consultation services, and free job site deliveries. With a large in-stock selection of PPG and Benjamin Moore paints and stains, and an expert sales team that is here to help, Warehouse Paint has exactly what you need to complete your next project. Visit warehousepaint.com to find a store near you. That's warehousepaint.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sacktown Sports.
That's the show. Jay in for Nick today. Cattles is back from WrestleMania tomorrow. I'm sure he'll have tales. He'll have stories. I didn't watch WrestleMania.
Good for you.
Wait, did you, JJ?
No.
Come on, okay, I was about to say.
I didn't watch the women's.
Not even close.
I didn't watch the women's national championship, which we were just talking about. But Jay just told me during the break, 9.9 million people.
Simone brought that to our attention.
Checked out the. Simone brought that to our attention. I missed that. I thought it was you
in the chat.
There we,
in the Slack chat.
I did not. Look at me, not keeping
breaking records.
Look at
no,
that.
Well, you're hosting the show, right?
9.9.
I think that's more than any NBA finals.
103% year over year, with a peak viewership of 12.6 million. So, like I said, women's game is blowing up and good. Like I'm not watching any college sports. I'll just tell you that right now.
Yeah, dude, I can't understand how you don't watch the tournament and college football. But I get it.
I watched some of the men's tournament. I'll admit that. I told you
first week.
I'll turn on the multi-view screen, and if a game is late in the second half and it's close, I'll turn it on just for the suspense and you know what I mean, the do or die nature of it. That's fun to me.
Yeah,
but like I don't know, the game itself. For me, just it ain't there after watching the NBA my whole life. Speaking of the NBA, Kyle, you can kill the music. We'll bring this back later when we do our actual Western Conference whip around. A couple of injury notes from the Western Conference. The first one coming regarding the Dallas Mavericks, and it comes from Shams Charania of The Athletic and Stadium. And this is him.
Well, I think the Mavericks have to seriously look at whether you shut down Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving these last 3 games, maybe 2 games of the regular season. This is a team that is 1 game out of the play-in behind Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, I believe, has the tiebreaker over them. So they're essentially 2 games out of the play-in with just 4 games left. So you have to see what happens with Utah, what happens with Oklahoma City between now and Wednesday. The Mavs don't play again until Wednesday at home against the Kings. I'm told that the organization is seriously considering the possibility of shutting down those 3 guys. They have a top 10 protected pick. So being out of the play-in race, it behooves them not to try to keep their pick. And at that point, you have the flexibility of having that potentially top 10 pick. You have 3 first-round picks that you can trade this offseason to go get a star and potentially more players in the marketplace. They're going to be one of the more active teams.
So tanking, essentially, is what Shams
Wembanyama
is proposing. I don't think they can get in the Wembanyama sweepstakes.
Well, if they trade someone, okay, here we go.
But basically, Shams is proposing with their last 4 games in the season. And by the way, one of those 4 games will be Wednesday night against your Sacramento Kings. Tanking, shutting those 2 guys down for the season. Does that make sense for you from the Mavs standpoint, Jay? Is the 10 seed worth blowing that potential lottery pick?
I would think Luka, yes. If you have Luka,
that's what that was the first thought that came to my mind.
Yeah, you want to keep that dude happy, right?
Right.
So
and we've said it a few times. Like unless I don't know what the severity is of those guys' ailments or injuries are, but man, for all the drama around Kyrie Irving, the fact is he's one of the best players in this league. And when you talk about playoff experience and championships, been there, done that. He's got pelts. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And Luka last year almost single-handedly carried his team to the NBA Finals.
True that.
I have a hard time shutting down and giving up on a season, even if it is the 10 seed and a spot in the play-in. I have a hard time just throwing in the towel when I got those 2 guys.
Especially in the West where it's kind of a coin flip for everyone. I believe everyone right now, if you were to take a poll and get some results, everyone in the Western Conference believes they can make it to the NBA Finals.
Yep.
I mean, it's got Sacramento Kings fans out here believing they can make it to the Western to the championship.
Shay will try to talk some sense into you at 3 o'clock.
You know, look, I will. I'm gonna try to. We'll wait till that segment.
Let's come up in a few minutes.
It's part of, if you're looking at it from a Dallas Mavericks standpoint and a Luka standpoint, this season is probably turned to be terrible. It's almost at a terrible position. And if they're going to sit those guys, a la what we just seen the Trailblazers do with Dame, I would expect that, as you said, unless Luka comes out and says, man, I just can't do it anymore. Like, I broke down, that injury really hurts. But if he feels like he has an inkling to just even get to the playoffs, to me, Luka's a competitor. I think he showed that he's a competitor.
You got a puncher's chance.
Yes.
You got a puncher's chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that The other injury news out of the Western Conference, and I said you'll see Dallas on Wednesday in Dallas if you're the Sacramento Kings. Golden State, you'll see them on Friday in a potential first-round playoff preview, and we weren't sure if this was going to happen at all, but Adrian Wojnarowski says Golden State Warriors forward Andrew Wiggins is nearing a return to the team and is expected to be back early this week. He's missed 21 games, attending to a family matter. Huge boost, as Adrian puts it, for the defending champions and 6th seed in the West. That is a big pickup, so to speak, right before the playoffs and getting Andrew Wiggins.
I don't know what he's going to be as far as in shape-wise, health-wise. Is he going to be able to turn it up? Is he going to be on some minute restriction? It's definitely a big deal, especially if he comes back and plays the way he played last year in the playoffs. If he flips the switch, which I don't know if the Warriors can do that, but a lot of people seem to believe they can. And him being an integral part of it is definitely going to make a big difference. And if not, hey, look.
And when we talk about how tight the Western Conference is,
they believe they have a chance.
Two teams really closely matched. Getting a guy that caliber of an Andrew Wiggins could be the thing that tips you over to the winning side. You know what I mean?
Very true.
That's both of those are significant for this week in terms of the Kings closing out the season with Dallas on Wednesday
Warriors,
and Golden State on Friday, but also as far as the postseason is concerned, we'll give a Western Conference whip round and a weird weekend in the Western Conference coming up at 3:30. But right after this, Jay is going to tell you to keep it real, Kings fans.
Keep it real, man.
It's Cattles and Ramie.
For a long time, I had a problem with all these milks, almond milk,
rice milk
and rice milk.
It ain't milk.
Goat milk. Milk comes from a mammal. You know what I mean?
So if it don't come from a goat or
juice, that's oat juice. That's all. That's what that is.
Cattles and Ramie, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sacktown Sports.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Growing a business brings pressure. It's not easy to maintain momentum and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. Their scalable HR solutions help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving my employees competitive benefit options. When my people are able to thrive, my business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
ACR Solar and Home Services is here to help you, just like they helped me. Jason Ross here, and ACR did a great job for my family, bringing their impeccable reputation and great workmanship to keep my family covered with a brand new roof. Now we're comfortable and dry during Sacramento's rainy season, knowing our home's structural integrity is protected. Our value is increased, and the home itself, well, it's looking and functioning at its best. The proof, it's in our roof. Now, you could get this same quality experience with ACR Solar and Home Services. Just go to acrsolar.com now to sign up for a free estimate and see all that they have to offer, not only to protect your home and family during the cold and wet Sacramento weather, but also including premium made in the USA solar electric systems. That's acrsolar.com. ACR Solar and Home Services is bringing us all the highest quality, highest value, and integrity since 1979. Go to acrsolar.com. That's acrsolar.com.
New flooring instantly updates a room. RC Willey has an incredible selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate. Their experts will help you find the perfect floor for your home and schedule a free in-home measure. Shop RC Willey in Elk Grove or Rockland today.
Treat yourself to a new car in the new year. Shop Folsom Lake Kia for your favorite Kia model. Low interest rates, low payments, even zero down deals with approved credit. Over 20 years right here in Sacramento. That's Folsom Lake Kia.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports.
Headlines.
It's Simone Rickford with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Less than ideal result from the Bean team yesterday.
The San Antonio Spurs have come into Sacramento. They have avoided a season sweep at the expense of Sacramento, and they get a victory, 142-134.
Despite the L yesterday, Sacramento Kings are still in the hunt to hoist that coveted Pacific Division banner. They'll get another crack at it tomorrow on the road in the Big Easy, squaring up with the Pelicans of New Orleans.
Pelicans play. Come on, Pelicans.
Of course, our exclusive Kings game night coverage tips off tomorrow as an afternoon matinee showcasing at 3:30 right here on Sacktown Sports and on our Sacktown Sports app. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson in studio for Cattles.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
and Ramie
on Sacktown Sports.
That's the show, hour 2. Jay in for Cattles this afternoon. You heard Simone on the update, Kyle Ledbetter on the 1s and 2s on the other side of the glass. Henry Turner, Kings radio analyst. He'll be joining us at 4:30. I thought you were waving to me. That's Kyle waving at
No,
the
I'm
camera
waving to the YouTube people.
on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Do not look at the man behind the curtain.
Which, by the way, kind of a weak performance from y'all with the likes in the first hour of the show. I'm just going to put that out there. Simone, do your thing. 16? Hey, man, when people
they're
need to
still
be...
feeling the game yesterday. It's okay, but I'm here to tell you guys, please hit that thumbs up. We can do better, Sacramento. Live and local, 6A to 6P.
Yeah, that shouldn't hurt to hear we can do better. We can always do better, right? I never mind when somebody tells me I can be
Talking
better.
to Kings fans, Ramie.
Yeah. Come on, guys. We hit that thumbs
Kings
up.
fans, man. These dudes show up and show out, brother. Watch them act the nut real quick. 16 to 100 coming right now.
So show up and show out there on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. Give us those thumbs up. It's free content. It's totally free. All we ask, scroll your little mouse over the thumbs up and hit it. What's with you and Kings fans today, Jay? I feel like
yeah, man.
You need to sit down and have a talk.
We
have a heart-to-heart with Kings fans today.
Either that or I'm getting ready to have to go to the Hobbit-like structure of Aaron Rodgers went to, man. And tap in on the ayahuasca
retreat.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to go to the darkness retreat, put my phones away, put my phone away, and try to go as hard as I can with the one bar. You know what makes Kings fans so great for me, Ramie?
What is it, Jay?
It's just what we saw on Friday night, where they were at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Kings guys coming in, the players, teams, whole staff. And you don't really see that in a lot of places. You get that from the Philadelphias. You get that from the Chi-Towns. You get those from certain places, especially in college areas.
Right.
But the LSU, as we see LSU going super hard, the Ole Misses, those type of things up there in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and those places like that. And that's what made Kings fans so fantastic, man, is for so long when the team wasn't doing well, still supportive, still selling out, still rocking. I was at the last game at Arco Arena. It was a beautiful situation.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. One of my favorite nights of ever working in the sports world, man. It was great, right? That's what makes them fantastic. But it's a double-edged sword because when we talk about, and this is the thing, I get it. People, one thing about it is, look, bask in what you do and bask in how you want to as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you talk about this quite a bit.
Right.
I look at sports as a entertainment part of my world.
Right.
Talk what you want to talk. Get your Caitlin Clark on. Get your Angel Reese on. Do whatever you want to do.
Anything you can do to spice it up. Add a little flavor to it.
Absolutely. The Kings do it. They throw it, but they dish it, but they can't take it. And that's my issue with Kings fans. That's my issue, is when you look at a lot of times who's the best fan, who's the best team who has the best fans. A lot of times Sacramento's not included, and we got to scream at the top of our lungs and be like, no, we are. Yeah. But then when we win, people are like, oh, again, here we go. You know what? The Kings fans are fantastic People in the NBA know it. When you talk to them, you listen to them. We have people come on. What do they always say? Man, Kings fans are one of, I've never seen it.
Yep.
Never seen it. Right. So bask in that. But you know what happens is when you get to win, you get to dish it. We got to take it too. We got to be realistic about certain things. It's okay. Dream. Have goals. Please. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm winning too. I've said it point blank, period. If the Kings win, look, you think you butt naked? I'm butt naked all summer. All summer, Ramie. I'm rocking, brother. You're not going to be able to catch me. I'm moving and
dripping
grooving.
wet, butt naked. That's going to be Jay.
All day.
All summer.
All day.
Wow. So,
but at what point can we not be real with ourselves? That's my question. And that's my big gripe with the Kings fans right now. Look, I want to talk fairy tales and yellow brick roads and Wizards of Oz and all that too. But I think I look at it a little more realistically. We're 1 of 10. The odds aren't in our favor.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, praying, wishing. I got the horseshoe in my pocket. I got the rabbit foot in my pocket, the 4-leaf clover. I'm crossing fingers. I'm not stepping on lines. I'm doing all of it with you.
Yep.
But I'm also being realistic in the point that we may take a loss. And now you're starting to see Kings fans, when we lose to the Spurs, it's like, oh, my goodness, we can't do that. Yeah, we can.
Don't get carried away
Don't
with
get
yourself.
right. Stop.
Right.
Yes, we can. Yeah, we can. We've been doing it for the last 16 years.
Right.
Yes, we can. How soon did we forget about it?
That's like you get a little bit of money, and I can't be seen in the same outfit twice.
Straight up. There you go.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Ramie's always in the same outfit.
Always.
As you
T-shirt
said,
and
you
jeans.
looking to go Men in Black style. Have the same suit, same
Every day.
situation.
Every day.
That's my big deal with Kings fans right now is please dish it, shoot it out, blast it out, hit it on Twitter. When Kendrick Perkins or anybody says something that's, I don't mean to say Kendrick, because Kendrick been positive, but anyone who says something negative, get at them. Get at their throat. Holla at them. Let them know, we rocking. Kings fans is here. We at airports. We at situations. We got people who probably can't afford $800 tickets who are looking to, as I saw someone on YouTube say, you know what, man, they're looking to spend their emergency fund, their savings to go to games in the playoffs. And that's what's up. If that's how you choose to spend your money, straight up. But at the same time, look, there's a difference. And this is my issue with social network a lot too. Is I come from the cloth that you weren't supposed to tell people your business. Right. There was a point in time you never shared your business out in the open.
Right.
Well, that's all okay now.
Yeah.
I'm over that. But there's also interventions. There's also, people have to go seek higher help, a la Aaron Rodgers going to the Hobbit-like structure. What I'm saying is this. Don't be mad at me. As you think darkness is your ally. Is this, Ramie, as a Kings fan, as someone who supports or whatever you want to call it, same thing for you, Simone, Kyle, fans, listeners, whatever. If there's anyone who's able to be for real, shouldn't we be able to talk about it for real in our own house?
Yeah.
And we can save face when we leave here. You know what I mean? When De'Aaron and everybody goes and balls and they on NBA, ESPN Top 40 and Turner and talking to Chuck and them. Yeah. Oh, don't let the weakness show in our house. But inside of our house, if we're not having real conversations with ourselves, then we fooling ourselves.
About flaws.
Yes.
About maybe the timeline where they don't advance in the playoffs or don't win a championship. Because Jay, you make a great point in talking about the fact that it's anybody's game in the Western Conference.
We have a shot.
Exactly. Because in a lot of years, and I think some of this is just natural. Like, you get defensive or you just get caught up in the hype and you don't want anybody bringing you down or being the buzzkill. I get that. You know what I mean? But also I think some of it is they're looking at the Kings and going, man, we're a 3 seed. We're a 3 seed. What's all this talk about? We're vulnerable. What's all this talk about? People want us. You know what I mean? We're the 3 seed. And I think that messes some people up, Jay, because most years in the NBA, if you're a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or a 3 seed, you're probably one of 2 or 3 teams in that whole conference that has a chance of winning a championship. You know what I mean? Because you've always had top heavy playoff pictures when you look at the NBA playoffs.
True.
You have 1, 2, maybe 3 teams from the East, 1, 2, maybe 3 teams from the West that you know are going to come out of that side and be one of the teams ultimately in the NBA Finals. This is a very unique year. I can't remember one like this in recent history where there's 6, 7, 8 teams that you could point at and go, yeah, I could see them coming out of that side. You know what I mean? So they might not be getting the respect, and they might be getting doubted more than a lot of teams would because they're the Sacramento Kings,
and that's fine.
And all the history that comes with it.
Yep.
I think also part of it is just how wide open the West is this year. You know what I mean? That everything is so tight, it wouldn't be a shocker if the 1 seed fell, if the 2 seed fell, if the 3 seed fell.
It's
not. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Kings fans, I see what you're saying, Jay. Like they don't want to hear that, and they're almost setting the bar maybe a little bit too high to set themselves up for disappointment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And maybe I contribute to that when I come out.
Well, you're supposed to. But you know what? That's the thing, Ramie. You're saying what I'm saying, but I'm also saying behind closed doors.
It's okay.
Behind closed doors means within Sacramento, within ourselves, within local media, within here on Sac Sports 1140, within, all these different avenues that we have here in Sacramento and all the people that Sac Kings fans entrust in, partaking our message out to the national forefront and, exemplifying like, hey, look, Kings have an opportunity. I'm not saying that. Don't say face to those people. What I'm saying is just what you're saying, Ramie, on the back end of that. It's very difficult to look into the mirror and tell yourself the truth. And that goes with everything in life. Everything in life.
Yep.
The hardest thing to do is actually, as you just said, is take some criticism. But if you can't do it to yourself, you're going in this life, in this world, it's going to be very difficult, brother. See, one thing I do, man, is I teach life lessons with this. I come from life lessons. I am a product of my environment. Kings fans are products of their environment. Stop acting like you not. Right? Isn't that what we see? The fact of the matter is Kings fans are products of their environment. The fact that we are great when we have guys that go to the airport just to clinch playoffs. Normally you see that when people win championships.
Yep.
Right? 1 a.m. in the morning, people out there rocking and rolling, throwing In-N-Out burgers to people.
They paid for parking.
Straight up.
They paid for parking at the airport so they could go to the terminal and welcome them.
As a matter of fact, Sacramento International Airport should be sending everybody a refund. Because that's how we get down. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. See, I'm advocating for the Sacramento Kings fans. I'm advocating for the movement. But I'm also saying I'm real enough to look myself in the mirror and understand I have an opportunity to win the championship, but I also have an opportunity to lose to the Spurs a couple of nights ago, excuse me. So last night. But that's the thing. And that's my whole point with Kings fans right now is if I'm not tempering expectations, you just heard me say we have an opportunity to win a championship. We have an opportunity. When have you heard that last in Sacramento?
I don't know.
So how could I not be being real here?
It's been a good 20 years since you've been able to say that.
Come on now. I'm just real enough to be like, yeah, we could lose in the first round too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's a very healthy mindset.
Because what's going to happen around me
is a hard pill to
It is, man.
That second part is a hard pill to swallow, but that's a healthy mindset you have right there.
But what's going to happen around me is and I'm hoping, knocking on wood, if it does happen, what's going to happen is this station is going to be your guys' show is going to be bombarded with, oh my goodness, we had an opportunity to do this and do that. Yeah, we did. But we also had an opportunity to lose.
You have to consider both sides of the coin.
Come on, man.
You have to consider both sides of the coin. Like when you're, if you're the Jordan Bulls, you know what I mean? The Kobe Shaq Lakers. It's like a two-sided coin. You know what I mean? You're probably going to win no matter what side of it comes out. you do have to be realistic in that there's two sides to this coin.
Yeah.
With the Sacramento Kings.
And we got cats still in the YouTube don't understand. That's the problem, man. That's why I love the Sacramento Kings fans, but as we're going to talk about on the outside, you still have people just don't get it. You don't get it, bro.
Do you get it? Do you consider both sides of that coin?
Ridiculous.
Or is Jay the Grinch?
I'll be that.
You can get it on the show.
But guess what, Ramie? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be the person that's going to be okay if something happened on the backside where they going to come in crying and going to need the extra help in the hobbit-like structures. That's what I'm saying.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
800-920-1140. You want to get in on the phones, text 916-339-1140. You can always comment at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. I'll hear from you and maybe something else to celebrate as soon as tomorrow, Kings fan. Although, is that something people still celebrate? That's next.
I'm Eric Armstead, and you're listening to Sacktown Sports.
Armstead with relentless pursuit, and Eric Armstead came in and sacked him.
You wanted more Niners?
Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento's new home for the 49ers.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
And local in the afternoon.
They'll keep you on edge.
Battles.
And Ramie.
On Sacktown Sports.
That's the show. Jay sliding in for Cattles today. Cattles back from his WrestleMania vacation tomorrow. We'll talk with the High Flyer about some Kings basketball. Henry Turner, Kings radio analyst, coming up at 4:30. Jay tried to give Kings a reality check in the last segment. In that, yes, you should consider and enjoy the fact you can win a championship.
Please
but
do,
also understand the flip side of that coin is in a wide open West, you could be bounced in the first round. That's a real possibility. And you could lose to a Spurs team that was watching Victor Wembanyama highlights on the sideline. Like that's something that can happen.
Perception is reality, Ramie.
A few Kings fans have chimed in on this. Kolobot. I don't think this is the crowd you were trying to draw with your comments, Jay.
Oh, let's get it.
Says Kings are super weak. LOL, dish it all day and can't take anything. Speaking as a Lakers fan.
Oh, here we go.
Losers.
See what you
know
did,
what I'm saying?
Jay?
Yeah.
See what you did? You welcome Lakers fans.
That's not what I'm trying to do, man.
No, look, Lakers fans are losers. They won a championship. They still don't know how to behave.
Dang.
Man, them dudes is blessed. Blessed to beyond to have so many things work in their favor.
Last 12 years ain't been great.
EP Dub 916 says we got house money this year.
Straight up.
Let's make some noise.
Straight up.
We have a shot and house money. We ain't supposed to be here yet.
You're right.
And we rockin'. Let's make some noise.
Yep. Agreed.
And then I thought a couple people, actually it was just one person. Ryan says people paid for parking. I don't think we had to. I didn't. How do you can't get into the terminal of the airport without paying for parking, can you?
No, there's like the cell phone lot way out there.
You can park in the cell phone lot and then walk to the terminal?
That's true. I don't know.
I don't think
about
you're supposed to
all
leave
that.
your car unattended
Yes,
in the cell
you're
phone
right,
lot.
you're
Who's
right.
going to be there at 12:30
Well,
in
the
the morning?
international folks over there at the airport, they still need to give them great people their money back. Y'all can afford it.
Yeah.
They can afford it,
And
right?
then Ryan
like
said, "Oh
partners.
yeah, we paid for parking. Give me a refund."
Need it.
And Ian, I think Ian sums up Jay's thoughts perfectly. He said, "We believe ish." Straight up ish. We believe it can happen, but also it really could not. Like that's also a real possibility too. Jay, one more win or a Phoenix Suns loss, and your Pacific Division champions. The
I'll take
Sacramento Kings are Pacific Division champions, and I've been one all along who has said celebrate everything.
Yep,
enjoy every moment, bask in the glory of this awesome season that the Sacramento Kings are having. Every milestone, every benchmark, enjoy it, celebrate it, and relish in it. I don't know. Does that
you not including the Pacific?
Does that apply? Dude, division championships in basketball have just always been so meaningless to me. And it's, I think part of it is the way that they stack the playoffs. Like you don't get anything for being a division champion in terms of seeding like you might in baseball or in football. It's never, and if you're new to the show, I'm sorry, not from here. I've been in Chicago and Milwaukee my whole life. It's never been anything that's been celebrated, a division championship in basketball. Do we celebrate this? Is this another moment we should bask in, relish, enjoy?
Yes. I think the team has said they've set goals, 50 wins, make the playoffs. I would imagine win the division, so on and so forth. So I think the team is going to celebrate it, and good for them. I don't necessarily need to see a Pacific Division banner go up again in G1C, like we talked about. You put that anywhere, get that to. Matter of fact, they could probably throw that in the giveaway to the fans. But I think it is a big thing in just kind of what you talked about earlier in the show: momentum, morale, feelings, emotionally feeling good. We won the division. And if you have to see the Warriors, if you have to see the Clippers, you have to see the Lakers or, the Suns down the road, it's like, we beat you. We can handle you. As he said, we could talk our ish. Right. It's time to get my Angel Reese on.
Right.
And Caitlin Clark, because they both talk here.
Exactly.
So that's the one thing about it is I think for the morale, the feeling, the emotion, absolutely. Why not, man? And I don't know if it's to answer your question, Ramie, I don't know if it's so much as a huge celebration, but just I did that.
To me, call me crazy,
confidence.
50 wins would mean more than a division championship.
They would mean both. They will mean bigger together.
That says more to me. Yeah, together, obviously, but that says more to me about who you are as a team, what you accomplished. You know what I mean? 50 wins. When I see that on paper, if I didn't let's say I didn't watch the Sacramento Kings at all season, and you showed me like the list of accomplishments and Pacific Division champion was there, and the next bullet point down was 50 wins, I'd look at Pacific Division championship and be like, okay.
They could have won it at 37.
And then 50 wins pops up, and I'm like, oh, they won 50 games? You know what I mean?
What if I say what if I say, though, they win the division and every team in that division goes to the playoffs? Because that's getting ready to happen, probably.
That's the curve that you're sort of grading on there. I can see that adding a little bit more to the meaningfulness of winning the division. It's just never been a big thing for me. And I'm trying to think, because you mentioned it. I don't know. Do teams hang? Do you get? First of all, does the NBA send you a division banner?
Unfortunately,
a division championship.
Look
banner.
around Arco Arena. Yes, unfortunately.
And teams hang them. Teams hang those up in the rafters.
The Warriors hang them in their practice facility,
as they should.
That's when you know.
I think Orlando does that too.
That's when you know you're good. You know what I mean?
Put it in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
JaVale McGee's got one of them in his house.
Jarvis, the janitor. They're like, Jarvis, you want this? We're just going to throw it away, man. We got this. It says division. I don't know what that is. It says division championship. It's yours if you want it, Jarvis. That's when you know you've done something right. When you set the division championship banners are in the ancillary building.
Joe Lacob uses it as his bed sheets.
No.
Cold blood. I mean, I think it is just a notch on the belt.
Okay.
It's another notch on the belt. It's something that if you could sweep everything, I got the 50 wins, I got the Pacific, I got, I'm a top 3 seed. Now I make it to the Western Conference Finals, then I go to the championship. It's just another oomph in the history of, another notch in your history for that season.
Is this true? Ryan says, our house is so starved for banners, we raised Paul McCartney's first concert.
Absolutely.
Is there
That
Paul
is
McCartney's
hanging from Golden One
Yes.
Center. Absolutely. It
In
says
fairness-
it's the inaugural concert. Yep.
I'm a Beatles fanatic,
Are
man. I
you?
love the Beatles.
I didn't
but
know that.
You hung up Paul McCartney's first concert banner from your rafters?
Oh, you'll see it.
What'd I
When you
just
go
tell
in
you,
there
Ramie?
now, you're going to peep it and be
I
like,
guess I
yep.
didn't look up when I
Everyone
saw it.
does
Look up,
this.
baby.
It's
When I
not
went there.
weird. I think
Well,
Taylor
Ramie,
Swift has a banner at the Lakers Stadium.
This is the part of what I'm telling you. As a Sacramento, you love Sacramento Kings fans, but sooner or later we got to be realistic with ourselves.
Simone has one good idea and one good question in the YouTube chat. She says, "Raise the Mackloff Magic banner." Now that's a banner we should put up here in the studio, quite frankly. And soap and Mackloff Magic. She also asked, which is more meaningful, Summer League champs or Pacific Division champs?
Around here, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
I just need to
That's
know.
a poll question right there.
Yep.
Put that up in a poll.
I'll put it on the poll.
What means more to Sacramento
On the
Kings
YouTube
fans?
page,
Dude,
youtube.com/SacktownSports.
for years, Sacramento Kings fans have been grasping at anything. And I
True.
get it. Understandable.
Sure.
I'm for all of that, But I do think the Pacific means something more here, probably than the Golden State and LA, both the Clippers and the Lakers and the Suns and all that. I don't know if I'm accepting the banner, though, Ramie. I'll probably accept the banner, like you said. Jarvis, take this, my man. We can have that. Matter
I'll
of
take
fact, yeah, Kyle, there you go. Send it to Kyle.
Could we hang a banner that says beat Kawhi, Steph, LeBron, Anthony Davis, for Kevin Durant for the division?
That's actually a good point. There are a lot of Hall of Famers in this division that they have put to bed, just tucked in and said, thank you. This division is ours. Speaking of the Suns, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the rest of the West, let's look at the Western Conference whip around. See what happened on a weird day in the West yesterday.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
If you told me we're playing the Lakers in the first round, and if I wore Laker gear, that the Kings were going to win, and if I didn't, they were going to lose, bro, I am in Kobe's. I'm wearing a medium Laker jersey. I'll drink beers even. I'll be obnoxious to the people around me. I'll do all the things a Laker fan will do if it meant the Kings are going to win. And then my skin would burn off.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sacktown Sports.
Dr. Rick here. Another sign you're becoming your parents is getting particular about details that don't matter.
The craziest thing happened when we got tacos the other day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday we got tacos? I know it wasn't Tuesday because that's when I went to my hairdresser. Shoot, what day was it?
See how we all lost interest there?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopier.com.
The clock is ticking. Get off a bench and head down to Fasteners Tool Outlet, where you'll find the lowest prices on DeWalt power tools and so much more. Why pay more at a big box store? Get a triple-double at Fasteners Tool Outlet with weekly and monthly offers, including up to 50% off select hand tools, batteries, power tools, and fasteners. Whether you're looking for a Festool sander, a Saw's top table saw, or a DeWalt impact driver, Fasteners Tool Outlet has the tools you need to do the job. Make a slam dunk with Fasteners Tool Outlet, 6701 Powell Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
If the sticker price markups that new car dealers are demanding are scaring you away from a brand new vehicle, you can still get the vehicle you want and save thousands at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. M&S Auto has literally hundreds of gently used but beautiful Silverados, Rams, and Tacomas. And if you love muscle cars, they've got Challengers and Mustangs too. M&S Auto Sales. Great cars and trucks and fair deals every day. Come and get yours. MSAutogroup.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $85. Tickets are on sale now at SacktownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning, Bill Eats RV, and Naughtywood Barbecue.
Baseball is back in Sacramento on Tuesday, April 4th. Join the Sacramento Rivercats at Sutter Health Park for all the pomp and circumstance that the 2023 home opener has to offer. Purchase your tickets today at rivercats.com, and we'll see you on opening night, Tuesday, April 4th.
Sacktown Sports
Headlines. It's Simone Rickford with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Less than ideal result from the Bean team yesterday.
The San Antonio Spurs have come into Sacramento. They have avoided a season sweep at the expense of Sacramento, and they get a victory, 142-134.
Despite the L yesterday, Sacramento Kings are still in the hunt to hoist that coveted Pacific Division banner. They'll get another crack at it tomorrow on the road in the Big Easy, squaring up with the Pelicans of New Orleans.
Pelicans play. Come on, Pelicans.
Of course, our exclusive Kings game night coverage tips off tomorrow as an afternoon matinee showcasing at 3:30 right here on Sacktown Sports and on our Sacktown Sports app. I'm Simone. Those are your Sacktown Sports headlines. Let's hit a little Western Conference check-in right now on Cattles and Ramie.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports.
Jay in for Cattles. I am the Ramie half of Cattles and Ramie. Simone on the updates. Kyle in for Jay, who's in for Nick. Time for our Western Conference wraparound before Overreaction Monday coming up at 3:45. The Kings could have clinched that Pacific Division Championship we were just talking about, Jay, with either a win yesterday or a Suns loss. They did not get that win, and the Suns also did not hold up their end of the deal. They knock off the Thunder 128-118. So Suns still sit in that 4 seed. Thunder the 10 seed right now, but as we talked about earlier, if the Mavs are shutting down Luka and Kyrie, the field of 10 is pretty much set. And the Thunder will be that 10 seed. So not, if that's the case, not that bad a loss for the Thunder in the big picture of things.
Yeah.
A couple other scores around. Dude, it was weird yesterday. Like we talked about the Kings blowing a game that they obviously should have won. You had the Warriors. They lost to the Nuggets yesterday with no God, I'm drawing a blank right now on the MVP. Nikolai Jokic, he was out with the injury. That was a game that they probably should have won. You also had the Mavericks losing to the Hawks yesterday. The Grizzlies lose to a terrible Bulls team, 128-107 the final there.
Give your boys some love, man. They're playing decently down the stretch.
Yeah, they're putting up a fight, which I wish they wouldn't. I wish they'd just get the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes.
Put that on DeMar DeRozan's headstone. Put up a fight.
That is true. And then, Jay, I think this was – I got to check my notes. I have it in my notes somewhere. But the Timberwolves, who have been red hot, like one of the hotter teams in the Western Conference and jockeying for position, they were 19.5-point favorites against the Trailblazers and lost. I think that's literally the biggest upset in the history of the NBA.
It is,
if I'm not mistaken.
And Cat played terrible. He had 8 points, 5. He played bad.
It was
in a clinching game. Like that was their clinch game, and he played horrendous, man.
I didn't watch the game. I saw the score.
You didn't do a lot of watching the games this weekend, Ramie. I see.
I watched Kings and I watched a lot of baseball. A lot of baseball this weekend.
Oh my goodness, Ramie.
You watched the Kings, Spurs.
And baseball.
Okay.
And baseball.
You didn't have a great viewing pleasure this past weekend.
I knew you were a baseball fan, but geez.
And I watched the Kings on Friday too. But yeah, I watched the Kings and baseball, and started binge watching Dave this weekend. New season.
So excited!
Coming
Don't tell me
in
anything.
a couple of days.
What is that? Show?
Yeah, it's on FX. You know
So
the rapper
good.
Lil Dicky?
Yeah.
It's his
Oh,
his
okay.
TV show
Gotcha.
on FX.
All right.
And one more game I wanted to check in the Western Conference yesterday. Lakers, you mentioned Lakers feeling themselves, man. Pounded the Rockets 134 to 109.
That's what the Kings should have did to the Spurs?
It is.
Okay.
That's exactly what they should have done to the Spurs. It's going to be a wild final week in the Western Conference, man, when we talk about the standings and the jockeying for position. I think 1 through 4 is pretty much locked in. The Kings are going to end up the 3 seed,
spot.
I think.
Yep.
They have a chance at catching the Grizzlies for the 2 seed because you do have the tiebreaker with them.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pass them in the standings. You just have to make up those 2 games.
I think it was last night was the key. If you won last night's game, I think you had an opportunity, a shot.
Bulls helped you out.
I think that's where, earlier in the show we said it was a big loss. If there's anything I can agree with on that part, you were supposed to beat the Spurs if you were still looking for the number 2 seed.
Yeah, and I mean you have the Suns, or excuse me, not the Suns, the Grizzlies blowing a game they should have won, and you blow a game that you know what I mean? Like they gift wrapped gaining a game on you, and you couldn't come through.
But and this is to revisit that real quick, Ramie, is you've said this quite a bit this year. They really haven't had a bad loss this year.
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
There haven't been a lot of 3-game losing streaks.
Right.
I think 2 or 3 off the top of my head. And you've talked about that quite a bit this season. I mean, look, they're due for one, aren't they? Can't they take one loss and we can give them a little, bruh, like I'm on a whole different level right now.
I just think that
positivity.
When the stakes are higher, it hurts that much more. But
true.
You look at 5 through 10, Jay, and all 5 through 10. That's 6 teams separated by 3 games.
I know.
From the Clippers to the Warriors to the Lakers, Pelicans, Timberwolves, Oklahoma City Thunder. The field of 10 is probably set if Dallas is shutting it down and tanking for the rest of the year. But the movement from 5 to 10 could be crazy this week.
The Lakers play the Clippers, the Suns, and somebody else. Hold on, let me go back. But there's going to be some movement in the fact that Golden State plays Sacramento. I want to say the Clippers have one more beside the Lakers. I believe they play one more time in the division.
The Clippers?
They have the Suns.
They have the Suns, yeah. So, I mean, there alone, the Lakers playing the Clippers, the Clippers playing the Suns, the Lakers playing the Suns, like, there's going to be some movement.
And the Kings are going to have some say in it as well. They got New Orleans, they got Golden State, they got Dallas.
They should rest.
And then probably a Denver team that won't be playing for anything.
Man, put the ice pack on the knees for De'Aaron and Domas right now, man.
For the last 3 or 4?
Nothing. You play them 15, 20 minutes, keep the heart rate up. Go ahead and put the Apple Watch on them so you can get their heart rate, check their calories and everything else, Ramie. But the blood pressure and everything. Beyond that, man, put the ice pack on the knees, brother, and let it be, man. There's nothing they can win or lose pretty much right now.
I still,
after last night, I mean, what does it matter?
I'd still keep swinging for that 2 seed, man. Like I said, you have the tiebreaker on them, and by a lot. You have the tiebreaker because it's conference record. It's not even close between the Kings and the Grizzlies.
But what are you trying to? I guess my whole point of it is what are you trying to grasp? Besides saying it's a notch in my belt. Like you're gonna play the Warriors, the Lakers, or the Clippers. 3 or 2, pretty much for the most part. I just don't see Oklahoma City, beating and becoming a 7th seed.
I saw this from the Ringer today. Yeah, that's where I got it. Was the Ringer. I don't know how much. I don't know how they figure this stuff out or how much stock I'm supposed to put into it when you talk about like these analytical and data-based projections. It makes sense when you look at the way things are stacked up right now. The Kings have a 37% chance to play the Warriors.
Yep.
A 22% chance to play the Clippers. This isn't a first-round playoff series. A 19% chance to play the Lakers, and a 16% chance to play the Pelicans. That's like 90-something%. And then the other 9% is split up between whoever is left in the playoff picture. So, I mean, where you end up could determine which one of those 4 teams or any of those other 2 teams that are in that pack that you could end up
Fortunately, unfortunately, however you see fit, because I'm excited. You're going to need to play the Warriors, the Clippers, or the Lakers, I pretty much think.
Yes.
So, and that means if you're 2 or the 3, you're going to play one of those guys probably.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. So I don't really, I don't really know what they're playing for by going all out and playing these guys where they really haven't had rest and days off to move up to play one of the same 3 that you're probably going to play anyway.
No games in the Western Conference
Tonight.
or the entire NBA tonight.
National championship, my man.
Because I guess there's like a college basketball game.
Yeah, you haven't heard? Kyle could probably tell you about it.
We will talk about that national championship game a little later on in the show. But right after this, it was a huge weekend in sports. Was that an overreaction? If it was, that's okay. It's Overreaction Monday next.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings are finally returning to the NBA playoffs.
The horn sounds, and for the first time in 17 years, 16 seasons of frustration, 16 years of wandering in the desert looking for that oasis, the Kings have finally found the sparkling waters, the palm trees. It's not a mirage, it's the real deal.
How deep a run can they make?
Tune into Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com for the most in-depth Kings coverage in the 916.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will be clear tonight. The winds will be diminishing. And for this time of year, it's going to be a cold night. Our overnight lows will drop into the mid-30s. We'll have bright sunshine tomorrow with less wind than today and a high near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Protecting your home and your wallet just got easier. Get $100 off any qualifying heating and cooling system repair. And keep your home the best place in the world. Schedule an appointment today. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating and air. Bonnie.com.
The Sacramento Kings are going to the playoffs.
It's been a historic season of Kings basketball with 2 All-Stars breaking records, lighting the beam, and now playoff basketball is coming to Golden One Center. Sign up now to get pre-sale access to single-game playoff tickets at kings.com/playoffs. Don't miss your chance to experience the Kings in the playoffs and feel the roar at Golden One Center. Visit kings.com/playoffs now.
We hear you. Light the beam.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Golfers, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is redefining the word sale. With $500,000 in Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio closeout inventory, you're sure to find your next nearly new showroom clubs at discounts up to 75%. From full sets of irons to metalwoods to wedges, visit the Hagen Oaks Garage Sale and find discounts up to 75% on selected clubs right now at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
It's Monday.
And we all have an opinion on what happened.
Let's get a reaction.
Are you ready to crown a champ yet?
That team's unbelievable. It's the best team I've seen in years.
Has your favorite team thrown in the towel?
They're horrible.
Overreaction Monday.
Yeah, there's a lot to catch up to after the weekend in sports and a lot to overreact to in the weekend in sports. It's Overreaction Monday on the Cattles and Ramie Show. Jay in for Cattles this afternoon. Coming up at 4:30, we'll talk some Kings with the high flyer, Henry Turner of Kings Game Night right here on Sacktown Sports. He'll join us on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. All guests come on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, Your one-stop
Honda shop.
Honda shop. Thank you, Kyle, for the music.
Simone was singing it back here. I thought that was on air. That's my bad.
I just didn't turn on my mic.
So you set up Kyle.
Yeah, she set me up. Simone was singing it. I thought it was on air. My bad.
Well done, Simone. Well done, Simone. Can I go first with Overreaction Monday?
Show, brother.
Oh man, baseball is back, baby. It's America's.
That was kind of one of mine.
It's America's sport once again. It will be the most popular sport in the entire world by the end of this summer because, ladies and gentlemen, after opening weekend, can I just give you some comparisons, some numbers of how different today's game is?
Run it off, Ron.
From what it was just 1 year ago. 1 year ago, 49 games played. To this year, 50 games played after the first 4 days of the MLB season. They've shaved over half an hour off of games from 3:09 to 2:38. And you might think, well, there must not be scoring runs then, right? There must not be a lot of offense or activity in the sport of baseball. Nah, batting averages are up from 230 to 245. Slugging percentages or on-base percentages are up from 308 to 323. Slugging percentages up from 374 to 392. And this warmed my heart, Jay Johnson. I don't know about you, but
yes.
I grew up watching 80s, 90s baseball. Like those were my golden years and my developmental years in terms of becoming a baseball and a sports fan. And one of the things I loved Ricky Henderson.
Love Rick.
To bring it home here to Northern California. He was one of my favorite players in all of baseball because he brought action to the bases, man, with all the stolen bases. Jay, 1 year ago, base runners were 29 of 43, 67.4% on stolen bases. This year, almost double the number of attempts, 84, 70 successful stolen base attempts of 84 for an 83.3% clip, which means, again, action on the bases, activity on the bases. That, to me, makes the game more entertaining. Look, I know chicks dig the long ball, and I love the home runs. And honestly, I think the home run being diagnosed as the problem for baseball is a little bit overblown. We all love to go to the ballpark and hear that crack of the bat and watch that thing sail. It's amazing because who can do that other than major league ball players? You know what I mean? But the activity on the bases is one of those things that, to me, makes the game that much more entertaining and that much more watchable. I love this new version of baseball that we're seeing, Jay. I love it.
I'm with you, man. I'm 100% with you. I've indulged in watching baseball over the weekend. Matter of fact, if you are, I have T-Mobile and Verizon on, for
there you go,
one of each phone. But if you are a T-Mobile subscriber,
which one's the burner? Which one's the real one?
Neither. So technically, one is for friends and family, and if you need to really get a hold of me, it's that. And then the other one's like, I got 1 million phone numbers in my Rolodex, and that's that one.
There you go. There you go. I like that.
Hey, look, shots out. Tip to the fellas, real quick. If you work in the line that I work in, you just never know when your phone is going to ring.
Yep.
And if you have a significant other of some sorts, and it's for the women as well that's listening, you don't want your phone to go off at 3 a.m. and you like, what in the heck? And you just don't want that type of
So you can turn that one off in off hours.
Oh, no. Well, pretty much.
When you want to.
Yeah.
In off hours, right.
Look, I'll leave it on. I'm not hiding anything, but it's the fact of sometimes you just don't want to go down that road.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m, man, look, I'm not trying to have this conversation. Look, and if you know my wife like I know my wife, you definitely don't want to have that conversation. So I'm with that. But I love. So I was saying, man, if you have T-Mobile right now, today is the last day that you can sign up to get the MLB
free.
Right? Yeah. MLB TV for free. Yeah. So I'm not going to be watching too many A's games because I don't know how big we're going to do it. If we're going to have many fly long balls and steals.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson ain't walking through that door.
Man. Dave ain't either. Hindu ain't either, man. So I don't know. But yeah, indulge in that. My overreaction, we talked a lot about Dame last week, and he's been put on ice. He's got the ice packs, which the Kings need to put on Domas and De'Aaron right now, and probably Kevin Huerter and a few other guys. But we haven't talked about his counterpart in the East, and that's Bradley Beal. The Washington Wizards they're officially done. They're out. They're 22. They're 4 games back on your Bulls for the play-in. My overreaction, it may be, maybe not. Bradley Beal and Dame Lillard will both be traded this offseason.
Ooh.
They will not be in their respective uniforms.
Man, that would
year.
be a major shakeup in terms of the NBA power landscape.
Yeah, it's over.
You know what I mean? Because those are both guys that have just been wasted, that have just been out in the wastelands of the NBA and killing it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't even matter in terms of the big picture or the championship picture.
Cash grab.
That I would love for that to be the case.
I would too.
I would love for because I told you, in addition to not watching very much college basketball, you were like, well, I don't know what you're watching all this NBA for. And I told you, I'll watch 2 kinds of NBA games.
Sure.
Sports is just entertainment. They're competing with my Netflix, with my Hulu, with my YouTube TV, with Disney TV,
everything.
all of it. Man, the latest episode of The Mandalorian, Simone.
So good.
So anyways, what I was saying
that Disney
is,
Plus?
Yes.
Okay.
Star Wars. It's Star Wars.
I watch teams I have a vested interest in, rooting interest, professional interest, whatever the case might be, and I'll watch a game that has 2 good teams playing. So I don't see a lot of Dame. I don't see enough of Bradley Beal because they don't play in either one of those scenarios. So I would love to see more Dame Lillard and more Bradley Beal because they're playing more relevant basketball. I would love for that to be the case next season. Simone, Kyle, did you guys have any overreactions from the weekend?
You know, I do have a quick one I would love to touch on. My overreaction is going to be I was consuming a lot of the WrestleMania.
Did you?
I did.
I feel sorry for you.
And my overreaction, this is going to sound terrible. If you are pushing 50, do not step into that ring, please. That Shane McMahon ACL, MCL.
Wasn't Snoop in there?
Snoop was fantastic.
But he's 50 plus.
Yeah,
he's like 52 or something.
I know, and he did a great job,
improvising when someone
yes.
tore his quad.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just like to overreact and say that I would like to protect my senior citizens and my seasoned folk, and please stay out of the ring. Dude. I cannot look at that happen again. That was tragic.
I saw that Shane McMahon clip. She's talking, man, Shane McMahon, like for like growing up with the silver spoon and everything else and blah blah blah. This man used to put his body on the line for some wrestling stunts.
And we celebrate
Jumping
that.
off ladders, Jay, from the rafters of the stadium through tables.
Sacramento Kings fan delusion.
But he was out for a while. He's been gone for a while. He hasn't been really part of the scene. He made his return at WrestleMania. Jay,
I saw the clip.
He's jumped off of rafters. He's jumped stories down through tables and on top of people. This man tried to jump over a dude who was ducking and blew out his ACL.
Got up. Yes, that knee, whatever ligament.
Exploded. That's age.
Yeah.
That's age right there. Like Father Time is going to get you. I don't care who you are.
Not on the avocado ice cream diet.
It's just so dangerous.
You can see his knee explode under his slacks. Like you can see it. It
really?
was,
Jesus. Little tender prime rib. Nothing more, nothing less.
Blood, Simone. You're not so anybody that's over a half a century, they shouldn't be in the squared circle.
That's an overreaction Monday.
At a certain age, your body is no longer made for impact, man. You know what I mean?
Like, he's like 64.
I've cut out all the plyometrics, all the long distance running. Like impact is out of my workout routine. That is just
saving the body out.
I only got so many steps left in these knees. You know what I'm not gonna waste them in a gym. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? That's absolutely not happening. Kyle, did you have an overreaction from the weekend?
I do have one overreaction, as people might be seeing on the YouTube. I am wearing my best San Diego outfits today. Got to rep the 619 on their big championship day.
Mm-hmm.
My overreaction is that despite the fact San Diego is the largest underdog in a championship game since 1999, the city is going to bring home their first championship since 1961 in any sport tonight. San Diego's beating UConn.
Woo!
Okay. All right. Calling his shot. We'll talk about that national championship game before we get out of here at 6 o'clock. Honestly, I don't know how big a swing that is. I'm just going to
They're the largest underdog in championship game in 25 years in the NCAA championship game.
7 points.
A couple comments at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. Javier says, I feel them barely beating the Blazers, then losing to the Spurs. These guys have played so many minutes this season. I love they want to play every game, but they may be getting burnt. That's a possibility.
Could be, man.
Amadrock says Kyle, it's good to see him perform. I was very mad when the Sox didn't extend a decent. Who's he talking about?
He's talking about Xander Bogaerts.
Oh, were you guys having your own chat?
Well, so they saw my San Diego outfit, and he's like,
gotcha.
Yeah, go Padres, because
All right.
I'm wearing my Fernando Tatis Jr. jersey.
And Javier also says, I was at the game yesterday, got row 22 up front, 116 for like $40 each.
What's up?
Dang.
I mean, it was the Spurs.
No, he's talking about the A's that I saw Ohtani Trout smack the ball.
How much did he pay for that?
Worth it. What? $40 each.
He got robbed. Shouts out. What was that? My boy Javier?
Yes.
Yeah, Javier, baby.
Got touched up in the pockets.
Yeah, man. Look, at this point, A's tickets at this
seems
point.
like a cash grab.
Yes, from John Fisher. It would, at this point, man, I wouldn't pay $10 for Oakland A's ticket.
Really?
Bro, I'm a stained fan. I'm not hiding.
Also, you can buy tickets anywhere in that stadium and go anywhere you want.
Anywhere.
Right?
They're like, come on down.
Yes.
Yeah, you get Javier, brother. You know better than
Buy
this.
the
Just
last row,
yes,
man. Buy the last row.
The
Walk.
pigeon section. Go grab the pigeon section for $5.96 with the fees included, and then you go down, man. No one at the Coliseum right now is stopping anyone from moving around. The last few games I've been to as A's fans, ushers, man, they looking to conversate with somebody. They're looking for people to come talk to them. Like, man, come on.
Proud partners here at Sacktown.
Straight up.
Catch A's baseball Friday night,
Saturday, Sunday, right here.
Sacktown Sports.
Real quick on the text line, the Stockton Kings could have beaten the Spurs, not the way I wanted to limp into the playoffs. Forget about the record. The Kings will be the worst team of all the playoff teams in the West, and that's just facts.
That's a crazy take. Make it make sense.
Nah, forget that. We're celebrating the division title because it's one of the hardest divisions. On top of that, this is our only third or fourth all-time division title, Ramie. We are downplaying, so y'all downplaying this too much.
Yeah, no, you know what? You when you made the point about how hard a division it is, that makes it a little bit more meaningful. I talk about how like we're conditioned, we're wired a certain way from our lives, our experiences. Like you say, Jay, we're a product of our environment.
Straight up.
I've never, as an NBA observer and fan of now a few different teams, you know, I got my number one. Those are my Bulls. I got a few side pieces, though, Jay.
And nothing wrong with that. And we're talking about sports here.
I've never been one to celebrate division championships in the NBA. It's in the NFL and Major League Baseball. Yeah, I'm all about like I think
baseball more than anything, right?
You put in the stickers that they put up on their outfield walls. you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm down with that. But just in the NBA, it's never been a thing. But hey, I'm not going to tell you how to fan. You want to celebrate the division championship? Hang a banner in your own house if you want to. I'm not going to stop you.
Reach out to the Kings. They may send it to you.
Right after this, home court advantage is locked up. Is it an advantage, though? Mike Brown doesn't seem to think so.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports. Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sacktown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sacktown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Let's cheers to the champions. Join us for the 50th anniversary of the 1973 World Series Championship team with a pregame ceremony on Sunday, April 16th. Celebrate Gene Tennis, Vita Blue, Raleigh Fingers, and many more A's legends.
The next pitch deep to right field. It is going. It is gone. Goodbye. Two-run home run by Reggie Jackson.
Tickets are available at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
If you own a small business, you've probably been hearing a lot about the ERC, how it's worth up to $26,000 per employee, how easy it is, you know the spiel. So why am I still talking to you about it now? Because many of you still haven't filed a claim, but Innovation Refunds can help you close the book on this thing. They're backed by one of those big CPA firms the corporations use, so they can determine once and for all if your business qualifies. And it's free to find out. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
My runner friends have bragged for years about their ASICS running shoes. So when the company rep, Mark Atterbury, suggested I try their new ASICS golf shoes, I jumped in with both feet, so to speak. ASICS has been around since the late 1940s, producing shoes for all sports, so their introduction to golf came with lots of experience. After slipping my foot into the ASICS Gel Ace Pro M for the first time, I recognized what made the brand so popular. It's the comfort. Pure comfort from the Flight Foam insole, which provides lightweight shock absorption. The Gel Pro M is the company's tour shoe and the choice of 2021 Master Champion Hideki Matsui. I'm guessing he appreciates the great fit, stability, and traction. The company has some other fancy names for the footbed and outsole features, but the bottom line is that the support through the swing is there. ASICS Gel Pro M is available in 2 choices of color. Try a pair on or learn more at asics.com. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Baseball is back in Sacramento on Tuesday, April 4th. Join the Sacramento Rivercats at Center Health Park for all the pomp and circumstance that the 2023 home opener has to offer. Purchase your tickets today at rivercats.com, and we'll see you on opening night, Tuesday, April 4th.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Your home for the biggest matchups in the NFL. Sacktown Sports. Sacktown Sports.
Headlines. It's Simone Rickford with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Less than ideal result from the Beam team yesterday.
The San Antonio Spurs have come into Sacramento. They have avoided a season sweep at the expense of Sacramento, and they get a victory, 142-134.
Despite the L yesterday, Sacramento Kings are still in the hunt to hoist that coveted Pacific Division banner. They'll get another crack at it tomorrow on the road in the Big Easy, squaring up with the Pelicans of New Orleans.
Pelicans play. Come on, Pelicans.
Of course, our exclusive Kings game night coverage tips off tomorrow as an afternoon matinee showcasing at 3:30 right here on Sacktown Sports and on our Sacktown Sports app. Tons to get into. We have more NCAA hot takes. Henry the High Flyer Turner joins us at 4:30. And of course, all of your hard-hitting NBA analysis your heart desires. And it's all coming up on Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Now back to Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson in studio for Cattles.
One brings Makloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports.
Hour 3 of that show, the Ramie half is here, the Cattles half. Buffer day between WrestleMania and coming to work. He'll be back tomorrow. Jay sliding into the host chair. Kyle sliding into the producer chair. And you heard Simone on the update on the other side of the glass. We're going to get back into some Kings talk in just a second. And as Simone said, the high flyer, Henry Turner, joins us at 4:30. We talked before the break about A's tickets. Our guy Javier said he paid $40 and was in 116. And Jay said that was you paid too much.
Yeah, you did.
You paid too much, Javier. This comment came via text. I still have a little bit of my granola bar stuck in my throat because Kyle came in here and read this one to me, and I choked. I choked laughing.
So good.
He said, I wish I could give credit to the person who texted this. Put your name on 209 is the area code. I paid $40 for an A's ticket and got to pitch the 7th.
I've never been to an A's game. How much should I buy them for, JJ?
Cold-blooded.
$4. You shouldn't buy them.
For free?
You work at a station that gets them. So,
yeah.
I mean.
I think we got the hookups.
Yeah,
oh,
for
my
sure.
God.
And quite frankly, one thing about Javier, if it's the Javier who I'm thinking of, man, dude is an astute fan of local sports. Dude is on point. Javier, if he's from 707, say it backwards. Huge fan, man. And I see in the YouTube, he talked about the team stores where they really getting slapped across the mouth. And I agree,
kidding me? I'm looking at this right now.
Come on now.
You said no-name jerseys for $250?
Stop it.
That can't be right.
Hey.
Is that real? That can't be real.
Custom name.
Listen. The A's parking is higher than it should be. The tickets, as we see, is higher than they should be. The gears for sure. You said this a couple months ago or whatever. I'm not buying that official gear in the store. I'm knocking the new air outside
give me the bootleg.
in the parking lot.
The guy that's got the tent on
$15.
the corner.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You get a cat when you leave, right? Don't they have a bunch of cats down there?
Yeah, of course.
Grab a dog, a cat, whatever you want.
You can take a piece of the stadium with you, too. It's falling apart.
I love cold blood, man. He cold blood, just sticking a knife.
We are gonna lose our partnership.
I love
Cattles and Ramie. Nick's not even here.
I love my A's, man. Truly do. And I would be crushed and hurt if they left Oakland or surrounding area, Fremont, San Jose, wherever. Put them somewhere, you know. But
growing up, the A's, even I was in Chicago, the A's were like my American League team. I told you, I loved Ricky Henderson, the Bash Brothers, Dave Stewart. Come on. You know what I mean? Those teams back in the
Walt Weiss.
Loved those. Oh, Walt Weiss. Loved those teams, man. Loved them.
Terry Steinbach.
I'd always be the A's on RBI baseball on my Nintendo.
My boy C. Lansford, with the crazy hands. Man, I mean, like it's Mike Gallego. That was one of my guys at second base.
Yep.
Man. You know what I mean?
Those teams were awesome.
The Lance Blankenships, the Will. I mean, there's so many guys that I could name for the A's, but it would crush my heart. But again, we gotta be realistic too.
Mm-hmm.
They getting away with some things that need to be called out, and it's not all Oakland's fault. It's not all the town, the city of Oakland. It's the A's fault, in many ways. And they need to look themselves in the mirror, and for fans like me and Javier, and it's not being done. And so, Simone, I hear what you're saying, but realistically, we good. We good over here. We need the A's to be good too.
But yeah, I think we got the plug on the tickets, Simone. Something tells me we could probably snag you.
Come on, Simone.
We can snag you.
I have been to the stadium because I went to a Raiders game, but I haven't been to an A's game.
It's not the same thing.
All right.
So don't even compare that.
No, I'm definitely planning on getting out to one this summer.
You going to the A's game?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go. I'll go.
It's an easy
going
trip.
To tag
you hop on the
myself
train,
here.
you're at the park.
Yeah.
I'm going to a day game.
Coming.
I'm going to a day game.
Look,
There's cats and dogs Simone talked about.
Yeah, I'm
We're taking one home.
There's some other cats and dogs you need to watch out in town too, but especially overall East 98.
Ramie, in 2 weeks, Cubs are at Oakland.
Yeah, no, but I'm working, Kyle. I'm working.
You don't want to go at 12:37?
I'll be here. I'll be here getting ready to be here.
We should go do the show from there.
I would be down. I would 100% be down.
Boss man, if you're listening to this, is there any kind of way that we could do the show from the Coliseum and we maybe be able to take Javier and get some shirts and jerseys and maybe we don't have to front the 250 and Simone?
Are they going to make us catch the possums to get a booth? Like you can have a booth to do the show from, but you got
to bring us some rebar.
You got to clear out the possum before you go in there.
I thought I was the cold-blooded one on this show. Y'all cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Kyle said you could take home a piece of the stadium.
Yeah, if you get lucky, a piece of concrete will fall. You can just pick it up and go home.
Y'all go.
All right, let's get into the thing we were supposed to get to here, which is the Sacramento Kings. Again, Henry Turner, the high flyer, he'll be joining us at 4:30. Jay, another home loss yesterday. The Kings now, they're the only team in of the playoff teams that has a better away record than they do a home record now. They are 24-14 away from Golden One Center, and with the loss yesterday, 23-17 at Golden One Center, which is an amazing environment. Like, this has nothing to do with the fans not holding up their end or carrying their weight. That place is playoff ready. I was at the Kings-Bucks game, and that place, the fans are playoff ready. We'll find out if the team is, but I'm telling you right now, the fans are playoff ready. And Mike Brown has seen just about enough of this and used for a coach, what is some strong language in describing his team and their play on their home court yesterday.
We have not been good defensively at home. We just, the reality of it is we play sort of soft at home, and I hate to say it, but it's what it is. It's factual. I mean, we have trouble stopping people on our home floor, and the tough part about it is our crowd is fantastic. Our crowd brings a ton of energy, but the energy just translates to our guys on the offense end of the floor. We don't have a lot of guys that want to or that are able to consistently dig in and play at a high level with some sort of physicality on the defensive end of the floor, possession after possession after possession. And we got 4 games to try to concentrate on that and get that right.
Soft, Jay.
Yeah.
Mike Brown called his guys soft with a T.
Yeah.
Soft. And Nick and I have pointed this out a couple of times. There are certain words that a coach uses very deliberately and with intention. And don't get it twisted. Mike Brown and all the guys will tell you this, and this is part of what makes him a good coach. He's not saying anything to us in the media or out in the open that he's not saying to these guys behind closed doors. But when I call you soft in the locker room is one thing. When I go out and tell the world you're soft, that's a whole nother thing. And that, me and Nick have said this before, is a challenge. That's laying down the gauntlet to your guys, and them, in a sense, Jay, fighting words.
Yeah.
You call somebody soft.
Yeah.
That coaches don't just throw that word around. That's, like I said, that's used deliberately. That's used with intention. I don't even know, Jay, at this point, is home court advantage really even all that much of an advantage in the first round, and however much longer the Kings might last in the playoffs.
I think it is for just what you said, the fans. The fans here in Sacramento, no matter if they're going to have to pay that hefty ticket price or not, is going to fill out that $18K, right? Standing room only, too. You can believe it's going to be some cats upstairs, standing room only. It's for sure going to be a home court advantage. I think the question is the team, the players, going to utilize it as a home court advantage? Are they going to feed off of it? One of my questions with this team for all season has been this. It started with the head of the snake with De'Aaron. He's proved me wrong in many, many, many times this year, many different ways of, can you be the leader, not only on the court, off the court, but as we've seen the last few years, the Kings have needed someone to come in and be that rah-rah guy, Iman Shumpert, that type of person, right? And we've heard it on our show where Doug Christie said Malik Monk was that guy. I think there are some guys beside Domas, for me. Keegan's even killed. HB's even killed. We see it from De'Aaron. We've heard Coach say we need to see it from the beginning of the game to the end. I don't know where Kevin Huerter really fits in that. I don't know what side of the fence you want to put him on, but the Kings don't have rah-rah to me. And I think that's another word for soft. They don't have, and I know Coach Brown's talking about physicality in many ways, but sometimes you got to fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to play that position. Kevin Hart had a joke about, man, look, I could talk my way out of many fights compared to having to physically go through those things. Yeah. Remember that joke? Yeah. That's the Kings, man. Like the Kings talk their way. They outpace you out of fights. Their offense is fantastic. And that's the one thing that's one of the things I have with the Kings when the playoffs get going is it's going to come down. It's going to slow down. No matter what anybody says, breaking records, how fast they are, and I think Mike Brown knows that. And that's the thing with the Kings is I think he's challenging. He's Geppetto, man. Mike Brown's Geppetto.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, he's been pulling the strings. I think he's just the last few strings he needs to pull to get these guys prepared. I think that's what he's doing.
Would you call them? Are they soft? Because, like I said, that's
in many ways.
That's a big word to throw around, man.
Absolutely.
And I agree with what
in certain ways. Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying. When you talk about like missing a personality type, like we talked about, like they need a backup center, they need a 3-and-D wing guy, and those are obviously very important things. One of the things I would have liked to seen him add at the trade deadline, Jay, and I was in Milwaukee a couple of years ago for their championship run. They added PJ Tucker. I think you saw a similar effect last year with the Timberwolves adding Patrick Beverley. And the way PJ Tucker and guys throughout that Bucks organization put it was PJ Tucker, he was a dog, and he brought the dog out of other guys. You know what I mean? Both in example and by if you got to bark at somebody on your team, you'll bark at somebody on your team to make sure that you're not playing soft. Right. You know what I mean? And I've seen that all season long. That was sort of an element that they were missing, is having that dog type of player. The guy who is not only going to get scrappy, but it rubbed off on the other guys around him to get scrappy and do the dirty stuff and have that extra little level of intensity or nastiness in you that you might need to win a game. That's an element that this team is definitely missing. And that doesn't often come with star players. Like I don't want that from Domas. I don't want that from Fox. You put yourself in harm's way too often when your star players are doing that. I want that from a role player type of guy. And I would have loved if they had gotten in on the Patrick Beverley sweepstakes at the trade deadline or in the buyout market. I think he was just what this basketball team needed.
We have to break, but I have a question to follow up on that on the next side, if that's okay, my man.
In 90 seconds, it's more than okay.
It's been 17 years.
17 years.
Back to the hoop, lays it up, around, and in, at the horn.
The Sacramento Kings are finally returning to the NBA playoffs for the first time since 2006.
Yes, indeed.
Where will they finish in the standings?
How deep a run can they make?
Tune into Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the most in-depth Kings coverage in the 916.
If the sticker price markups that new car dealers are demanding are scaring you away from a brand new vehicle, you can still get the vehicle you want and save thousands at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. M&S Auto has literally hundreds of gently used but beautiful Silverados, Rams, and Tacomas. And if you love muscle cars, they've got Challengers and Mustangs too. M&S Auto Sales. Great cars and trucks and fair deals every day. Come and get yours. MSAutogroup.com.
The Sacramento Kings are going to the playoffs.
It's been a historic season of Kings basketball with two All-Stars breaking records, lighting the beam, and now playoff basketball is coming to Golden One Center. Sign up now to get pre-sale access to single-game playoff tickets at kings.com/playoffs. Don't miss your chance to experience the Kings in the playoffs and feel the roar at Golden One Center. Visit kings.com/playoffs now.
We hear you. Light the beam.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports.
That's the show. Jay in for Cattles today. I am the Ramie half of that. We were talking before the break about this Kings team. Mike Brown called them soft, or the way that they play, soft at home. And Jay and I both agreed. They could use a guy who I termed it as the dog on the team, and the guy who brings out the dog and other guys on the team. Jay, you said you had a question for me. What's that?
Yeah, and it goes back to the home court advantages. I allowed a 12-man in Seattle, Duke, places like that, teams, organizations, colleges like that. Sacramento, I think, has that type of atmosphere.
Yes.
So my question to you is, do you believe with the home court advantage, do you believe Kings fans can kind of be that dog to kind of put a little effort into the other side of being a little scared or shaky? Or
I'd like to say yes. You know what I mean? I haven't seen the Kings feed off that the way that they should, or the way that they could. You know what I mean? When at the end of that game last night against the Spurs, one of the worst teams in the NBA, a team that's literally tanking for the number 1 pick. They came down in the, last minute of the game. The Spurs came down, and the defense chant was deafening. You know what I mean? It was that place. I wasn't there. I don't know. Was anybody there? Anybody in our?
Nope, I was not.
That place had to be shaking. And when a place is that loud, you literally feel it reverberating in your body. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it has a physical effect on people. That type of noise and that type of intensity from a home crowd should draw another level out of a team. And I haven't seen that yet this year. And I think Kings fans probably, I think, got even another level out in them.
Oh, it's coming.
You know when the playoffs come, it's going to be even more intense, more loud, more hype than we've seen to this point. And that's saying something, man. And maybe that next level is what tips the Kings over into feeding off of that and absorbing that and using it to their advantage. But, Jay, I just haven't seen it this year, at least not on any consistent basis.
I guess the follow-up to that is it, and I know we're looking from the Kings standpoint, but let's just say they come in and they play the Timberwolves. Timberwolves haven't really been a player. They've been off and on over the last 10 years or so, to say, to making the playoffs. But do you think that affects the other teams' play more than the Kings feeding off of it? Do you think, a T-Wolf team or a Pelican team or, I wouldn't say so much as like veteran-led teams like the Warriors and LeBron. Ain't tripping off that. Matter of fact, them type of cats, they feed off of that. They're going to go extra harder. But do you think they might be able to catch a Pelicans, a T-Wolves team because of this fans, shake them up a little bit?
Yeah, you might put a little bit of fear into some of these opposing teams that don't have that pedigree or that experience that we're talking about. Yeah, I think that could be an advantage for them. But as far as the Kings feeding off of it, man, it's something that they should be able to do. I don't know, Jay. Like, I do stand-up comedy on the side.
Do you?
The bigger the crowd, I feel like the better I am.
Really?
Like for a lot of comedians,
I'm just playing,
or for just people who don't do comedy, like, oh my God, how do you get in front of all those people? For me, the more the better. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't think, and I've done for like 500, 600 people is probably the most I've done comedy for. So I don't know what like an arena is like, but I've literally never looked at a crowd and been like, oh my God, look at the size of that crowd. You a gamer,
Ramie. That's what you're saying, baby. You a gamer.
I want more. You know what I mean? So I don't know. For me, it's just very unnatural to not just feed off of that. Just instantly and naturally feed off of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
May I add, we do have a text line coming in. Someone has said, is there a possibility that the noise in G1C could actually be a detriment to our own boys? I don't know if that's a conversation.
Yeah, I've never really heard that.
Can't be. I can't imagine. Defense? Can't imagine that.
Yeah, this ain't football.
A detriment to them.
Yeah, we're not calling plays. We don't need audibles.
Not college basketball.
D Fox is gonna come up the court and give him the old quiet down.
The only time you see is free throws.
It's another number 2 that is concerned with it. that the arena is so ready to erupt that they have not been able to make stops.
I'm not doing that.
We have that going on.
I'm not doing
this.
this. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. You're too loud.
Yeah.
You fans are too loud for your home team. No, that applies one time, and that's in the red zone for your own football team. That's the only time I'm going to sit here and say you were too loud cheering for your hometown team. Get out of here with that.
Especially when you pay for the parking, the beer, the chicken strip meal, the $800 ticket playoff. No, go out there and act a fool.
They're going to put quiet down on the jumbotron when the Kings are coming down for offense.
Yes.
Please keep it down
Scott
for De'Aaron.
Yeah, Scott Moak is going to whisper.
Shh. Rain is sleeping courtside. Shh.
Oh my God.
Golf claps.
No, man,
Golf
no.
claps.
You're doing what you're supposed to do. Get loud. Get loud. Right after this, we'll talk with maybe Henry Turner, Kings radio analyst, one of the hosts of Game Night right here on Sacktown Sports. Maybe he has the answer on how we fix these home court woes. He'll join Cattles and Ramie next.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports. Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sacktown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third, your scorer is Tony Count. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sacktown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sacktown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will be clear tonight. The winds will be diminishing. And for this time of year, it's going to be a cold night. Our overnight lows will drop into the mid-30s. We'll have bright sunshine tomorrow with less wind than today and a high near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
A nice warm shower is not so nice if it doesn't drain like it should. Well, let's fix that right now. Get a sewer inspection, including mainline drain cabling and video analysis, just $97. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit on the go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
Golfers, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is redefining the word sale. With $500,000 in Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio closeout inventory, you're sure to find your next nearly new showroom clubs at discounts up to 75%. From full sets of irons to metalwoods to wedges, visit the Hagen Oaks Garage Sale and find discounts up to 75% on selected clubs right now at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
Start your grilling season at Nugget Markets for a chance to win the ultimate outdoor cooker, the Big Green Egg. Perfect for grilling, barbecuing, or slow cooking the perfect ham, the Big Green Egg is the ultimate outdoor cooker for versatility, eco-friendliness, and fantastic flavor. From searing a steak to smoking ribs low and slow, even baking your Easter pies, everything tastes better on the egg. Want to win one of your own? Drop by your local Nugget Market to enter to win and stock up on gourmet ingredients to make your Easter amazing. Also sign up for Nugget's Secret Special for exclusive savings, great recipes, and more ways to win. Stop by your Nugget Market today.
Growing a business brings pressure. Staying compliant and retaining top talent in challenging times. You feel stretched thin. Fortunately, there's Insperity. They put over 35 years of HR service and technology to work, offering my employees competitive benefit options while lightening my HR load. Engaged people empowered to be their best means overcoming obstacles. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
If you are like the thousands of people that take advantage of March for replacing your heating and cooling system, then this message is for you. Hi, I'm Mario, owner of Attic Man Heating and Air, and March is the most popular month for replacing old, inefficient heating and cooling systems because of milder temperatures and end-of-winter rebates. If you've even contemplating replacing your old AC system, act now. Take advantage up to 5 years of interest-free financing and 10-year warranties. I know, it sounds way too good to be true, but it is true. 10 years of worry-free operation, but you have to book online today at atticmanhvac.com. Attic Man Heating and Air.
Sacktown Sports.
Headlines. It's Simone Rickford with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Less than ideal result from the Bean team yesterday.
The San Antonio Spurs have come into Sacramento. They have avoided a season sweep at the expense of Sacramento, and they get a victory, 142-134.
Despite the L yesterday, Sacramento Kings are still in the hunt to hoist that coveted Pacific Division banner. They'll get another crack at it tomorrow on the road in the Big Easy, squaring up with the Pelicans of New Orleans.
Come on, Pelicans.
Of course, our exclusive Kings game night coverage tips off tomorrow as an afternoon matinee showcasing at 3:30 right here on Sacktown Sports and on our Sacktown Sports app. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Please welcome in Kings insider Henry, the high flyer Turner, to the program right now.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
and Ramie
on Sacktown Sports.
That's the show. Cattles out. He's recovering from his WrestleMania weekend. He'll be back tomorrow. Jay sliding into the host chair. Simone on the updates. Kyle in for Jay on the producer side of things. We'll get into the top spot coming up at 5 o'clock. Also, a special gift that De'Aaron Fox got from one Kings fan when they were met up.
I got something to say about that, Ramie.
It's coming up at 4:45. But joining us right now on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline, Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. You hear them right here on Sacktown Sports, getting you ready for every Kings game, including tomorrow night when they're back in action on game night. It is the high flyer, Henry Turner. Henry, how are you this afternoon, my man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing well. We were talking before we brought you on about these home woes for this Kings team. They're now better on the road than they are at home, something you don't see. You literally don't see from any other playoff team in the NBA right now. Mike Brown called them soft. How do you explain the troubles at Golden One, Henry?
You know, the way I see it is that, you know, I'll just explain what I see the difference between home and away. I think when the Kings are away, you know, because I've been in that locker room, I've been on a team like that, you only have you and the rest of those guys on the roster. That's it. You don't have the fans. You don't have the six man. You don't have G1. So you come out with a little bit more sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more defensive minded out there because you understand that you guys have to get this done collectively. Now, it should be the exact same way at home, but I think the guys come out there a little like 2 days ago because, you know, they're at home. You're in G1, the crowd gets you going, and you rely a lot more on your offense.
Rocking my boy HT. One thing I always respect about you, HT, on the air, off the air, we had these conversations, man. You are you no matter what, right? And I think that's the thing with the Kings that I have a problem with is sometimes I just don't know who they are. So with that being said, last night, because I didn't get to hear you guys, was last night's loss a big deal to you?
As far as the overall scheme, Nate, no. Because it doesn't hurt anything. They still are exactly where they are. But when you start talking about making that next step and going to that next plateau as far as the playoffs, yeah, it bothers me. It bothers me the same way it bothered Coach Mike Brown. It bothers him a lot because he understands. See, the thing about it is that, Nate, everybody on that roster except 2 guys, they haven't been there before. They don't know what it's like. And it's a different style of basketball by every stretch of the means. When you hit playoff time, after that first game, there's no surprises. Everybody knows what everybody does, and it comes down to straight out execution. And when you don't execute, you will get embarrassed in the playoffs.
How important is it, talking with Henry Turner, catch him on game night before every Kings game right here on Sacktown Sports? How important is it to you, Henry, that they keep the foot on the gas pedal here to close this thing out and ride some momentum in the postseason versus maybe easing up a little bit and resting some guys and making sure that you got fresh legs and a healthy roster once the postseason starts?
You know what? We were going around and around with that early on last game. And I'm like, it's kind of a catch-22 type situation. I understand the end-all game for the Kings is that 50-win plateau, right? Now, is that going to equate to that second position? It maybe it won't. My thing is that if that 50-game plateau don't equate to that second position, why go for it? You want your guys playing at a very high level, and most importantly, fellas, you need everybody healthy for when you go into the playoffs. So that might mean cutting down some minutes for some of these players who will play these long minutes. De'Aaron Fox has played a lot of minutes in this league. Sabonis has played a ton of time, and he still is playing with a broken finger. So, it's kind of one of those type of things to where is it that you want to be at the end? Is the 50 more important than coming in healthy at the end with the playoffs? You really have to weigh that out, and I'm wondering how Coach Brown is going to really just manage all of that.
HT, we talked about Mike Brown not being too happy, and really, as he called him point blank period last night, man, soft. These cats are soft. If there's someone that you can point to say on the opposite side, like, man, I don't know, is it Malik Monk? Do you think that he's the Amon Shumpert of this squad? Is it Domas? Domas seems to say it to himself, but not so much as portray that to the rest of the team. Who do you put your hat on as not being soft?
Nate, I wouldn't call the guys soft. Every basketball team and every good basketball team.
Now, I'm just giving you Mike Brown words, though, HT. He called him soft.
Yeah, and I understand where he's going. The thing about it is that, Nate, every good basketball team has that Draymond Green, okay? They have that Tony Allen. They have that Dennis Rodman. They have that Ron Artest. You need that one dog on your team that's going to really bark and bite. Now, when you look at the Kings roster, do they have that guy as far as verbally? I don't think so. None of those guys out there are big-time verbiage guys. You talk about being leaders. Now, when they go out there and show it, Sabonis brings his hat every night. Yes, he does. I think the toughest guy, if you ask me, if I wanted to go to war and I had to pick one guy, I'm going with Trey Lyles, man. Trey Lyles showed me a lot when he got that technical and when he stood up for, you ain't going to come in here and just do what you want to do.
Talking with Henry Turner of Game Night, heard right here on Sacktown Sports. You talked about the fact that, you're not going for 50 games if it doesn't mean you're getting the 2 seed. How much would you be pushing even for the 2 seed right now when you look at the playoff picture, Henry?
It's crazy right now because when you look at the overall situation in the playoffs, think about it. All the quote-unquote championship or bust teams are in that lower echelon. All right? When you talk about Golden State, okay, you talk about the Clippers, you talk about the Lakers, all of those guys, all of those teams are down in those lower positions. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a situation to where who would you rather see in the playoff time? And let's say if everybody gets healthy and everybody gets full strength. They're talking about Wiggins is coming back for Golden State next week.
Yep.
So that's going to push them to another level, big time if you ask me. All right? LeBron and AD, if they ever get it together, you got a Superman and you got a Hulk. They can do some big things down there. All right? So you got those bigger teams that's trying to make this push. If I'm the Kings, I want to see the Clippers, and I hate to say it, but I'd rather do this. I'd rather see the Clippers or Minnesota before I see a healthy Phoenix, a healthy LA, a healthy Golden State. It's going to be tough when you run into those guys, and everybody is healthy.
HT, you talked about a few teams right there, and you've been around the game for a long time, brother, studying it, playing it, rocking it, analyzing it. The Western Conference, a lot of people are saying it's wide open. Do you see that, or do you see someone who's head above shoulders?
You got to give Denver a lot of credit. Denver and what Mike Malone has done with Denver, that team right there has been steady. And then I like the Young Bucks. I'm sorry, the game is changing, Nate. The NBA, the game, the way it's played, it's evolving, and these young cats, they're not scared. The young Memphis Grizzlies, they are not scared, and they have enough talent to do it. They got John Morant back for what he was doing. They got him back and got him playing great again. If they can go back and get Steven Adams, they're going to be a hard team to beat.
That is Henry Turner, the high flyer. Catch him on game night before every Kings game, including tomorrow, 3:30, right here on Sacktown Sports before they take on the New Orleans Pelicans. And our guest for the last few minutes here on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Henry, I did this off the air, but on the air, I'm sorry for almost hitting you with my car in the parking lot, sir.
You almost took HT out?
I almost took him out.
You almost took him a real high flying, huh?
Yeah, I saw that high flying in action.
I had to get my West Coast crib walk step on.
You had to see 140.
Well, sorry, and thank you for your time and insight, High Fly. I appreciate you, my man.
Hey, man, anytime, fellas, anytime.
Have a good one. That is Henry Turner. Catch him on game night tomorrow.
He cold blood for that.
30. He knows your name. He kept
so let me explain this for people out there. So not obvious. My full government name is not J.
Right.
It stands for stands for a shorter version of my name.
Right.
And my name technically has what sounds like Nate in it. Nate. Right.
Gotcha.
So my name is Jean-Nate, right? That's my real name. So
is that how that's pronounced? I've seen it in the emails. I've never actually heard it said out loud. I wasn't sure.
There you go. So he shortened it because I know HT, outside of here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's shortening it. Which is not even my nickname on the streets, but I create a lot of nicknames. HT was like, I'm calling you this, So we've run with it for years.
Yeah, and I almost killed him. I almost killed him in the parking lot.
Dude, you almost took HT out, bro.
Here's what I'm very careful when I'm backing out of my spot, Jay. All right. So here's what I think happened. I don't know. You know how when these things happen, it all happens very fast, and you try and piece the pieces together afterwards. So I'm looking at my rear view camera, right, as I'm backing out of the parking spot. There's nothing there.
Sure.
And so I start to creep out. You start to just roll back. You don't put your foot on the gas pedal while I do the over-the-shoulder blind spot check. And I think he got caught in no man's land where I didn't in that split second that I was turning my head, he went from being off camera to being out of my blind spot.
Gotcha. And HT's not a small cat.
No, he's not.
I was gonna say he's hella tall.
No, he's like 6'6", 6'7".
Hey, he's somewhere up there. I don't know.
I thought you meant you almost hit him with your car in his car.
No,
I thought he was in the car.
I almost took him out.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
Really high flying.
Something came flying into De'Aaron Fox's car when they landed at the airport a few nights ago. We'll tell you what that was next.
You almost took HT out?
I almost took him out.
You almost took him a real high flying, huh?
If you own a small business, you've probably been hearing a lot about the ERC. How it's worth up to $26,000 per employee, how easy it is. You know the spiel. So why am I still talking to you about it now? Because many of you still haven't filed a claim. But Innovation Refunds can help you close the book on this thing. They're backed by one of those big CPA firms the corporations use, so they can determine once and for all if your business qualifies. And it's free to find out. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com.
Want to kick back with your favourite British TV? Escape with Britain's best series, only on BritBox. Don't miss new and exclusive releases, including BritBox original drama Stonehouse, starring Succession's Matthew McFadden.
It's Stonehouse, John Stonehouse.
Follow the unbelievable true story of the British politician who faked his own death.
I deny those allegations in the strongest possible terms.
Succession's Matthew McFadden stars in BritBox's new original drama, Stonehouse. Stream this and more at BritBox.com.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?
Andrea's Boutique Hotel is the destination to tie the knot.
Oh, you want the whole property?
She needs an assistant to catch the bookings bouquets.
249 guests, huh? Oh, and 3 dogs.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad gets us through heartache.
Chin up, sport.
Oh, hey, TV Dad.
You know what heals all wounds?
Time?
No, it's remembering that drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
But Jen still doesn't want to be with me.
True. I actually saw her with your friend Brian earlier.
Wait, what? Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now. Catch every Niners game right here.
It's a new partnership. It's a new day. We're going to be able to build some things together. But let's not fool anybody. This has always been a Niners town.
Here's Purdy out of the gun looking for McCaffrey on the goal line. Touchdown!
San Francisco! Sacktown Sports, your official home for 49ers football in the 916. One brings Macloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports.
That is the show. We'll get to our top spot coming up at 5 o'clock. Jay in for Cattles today. Simone, Kyle, other side of the glass. I'm the Ramie half of Cattles and Ramie. Kings returned home victorious, Jay. I don't want to say champions. Still a long way to go before we call them champions, but heroes of the people.
Yes.
Of Sacramento, right?
Yeah.
They're the toast of the town.
They were.
Arrived at the airport. Kings fans waiting for them in numbers too.
Man, shouts out to them fans, bro.
Shouts out to all the fans.
Yeah.
One fan,
bigger fan than me.
One fan showed a little extra appreciation and treated De'Aaron Fox to a little late night dinner at the airport.
I had an In-N-Out, and it's funny. TD actually said the same thing just now. In-N-Out bag was gone in my car.
Inside, it got inside.
Yeah.
Oh,
or empty. I think it was full. I think it was full. I don't know. Have a double on me. They said she was drunk, so I don't know. I have no idea.
First of all, that guy's accuracy. A moving vehicle.
It's a she. It was a young lady.
I'm sorry. To land it in the window of a moving vehicle is not. It's not easy.
Icebox.
Yeah.
Salute.
I don't know if you guys have ever tried like those quarterback challenges where the target is on wheels and you're trying. It's not easy to hit.
I'm not going to flex. I'm a pretty good quarterback.
For him to land it in the window.
You don't believe Kyle there, Ramie?
I'm impressed.
You
but
need to
also,
see it.
Also, yeah, I don't know. I don't believe it. Look at how he's like so scrawny. How far could you actually throw the ball?
Well, that's another question. I'm more of a Kirk Cousins type.
You're a game manager. Okay.
I'm a Kirk Cousins type.
All right. Okay.
Kyle's got the quarterback and Nick's the dancer of the group, apparently.
Got a lot going on this show.
You're like Brock Purdy after the shoulder injury.
About that young.
Number West Coast offense. Out the backfield passes. Slants.
I'd be holding the clipboard.
But that was my first thought was that's solid throw. Also, don't throw stuff in people's cars. Like,
especially food.
If I'm De'Aaron Fox, that would scare the crap out of me, man. If some bag just landed in my lap. But In-N-Out Burger, where do we? Because I'm the out of towner here. You know what I mean? I moved here 9 months ago now. And I had tried In-N-Out before I ever moved here. I made a few trips to Arizona for the Cactus League, and they got it there, and it was good. Like I liked it. No, it was good, but it was different from any fast food burger I've had because they prepare it a little different. They have the what do they call the sauce? Isn't there some kind of sauce that goes on there?
Spread.
Yeah.
Animal style, is that what they call it?
That's one way.
Okay.
They also don't freeze it. They like deliver it to the restaurant the day of.
All right.
I think I know where Kyle stands.
But I was
on
like,
the issue.
I was like, all this hype for this, like it was good. It was fine. It was good and it was different than what I've had in the past. But there's a lot of you got to try this before I came out west. You know what I mean? And I tried it and I'm good.
Kyle, you want to go next?
I think our friend Christopher Laud said it best. For the price you're getting, it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. Better than other fast food?
Yeah. I mean, it's better than, I'll say 75-80%.
And think about the line, though, for it. Really?
There's always a line.
Let me tell you something, Ramie.
Please do, Jay.
Let me be
Jay is the authority.
Give him this free game.
Yeah, let me lace your tennis shoes, Ramie. West Coast people need to get a grip about In-N-Out. Straight up. Cats who were born and raised on the West Coast or who have been here for 20, 30 odd years need to get a grip about In-N-Out.
Okay.
As you just heard Simone talk about, first of all, the line is longer than the DMV line. Right? You only have about a third of a menu of anything. All you're pitching is fries and burgers. The fact that you want to add chili to it and think that, oh my God, we threw chili on fries. Man, Cat's been putting chili on fries since the dawn of time, bro. Chill out. The other part of it is their big ingredients is onions. Like their go-to things are
they're like grilled onions, right? Like charred onions.
Bro, that don't mean nothing to me. That don't mean nothing to me. I mean, they you have nothing to choose from. The fries, I've already talked about the fries on this show.
Yes.
Them things are origami. Like they're super paper mache.
They're thin, man.
Like
they're
what am I
thin.
getting? That's not even sitting on my gut properly.
Absolutely. That is my mark for In-N-Out. That is my mark. I cannot stand those In-N-Out fries. Yes.
Really?
And people try and tell me, well, Simone, like order them crispy. That makes them better. No.
How about you just prepare them crispy.
Better.
Yeah.
How about you just make them the best they can be?
I just
with a regular order.
It's probably because of what Kyle was saying. They're not putting any preservatives in it. I see them chopping it up fresh. It's like I need my potato fries to have some preservatives in it.
You want it to be stiff from all of the additives.
Delicious that way. I don't know.
It's called crunch, Kyle. It's called crunch. All right.
Keep it. And the line, I'm so good. It's like, yeah, my brothers are huge on In-N-Out. Every time they fly back in from whatever state they're in, they always are like, we have to stop at In-N-Out. And it's just so played out.
It is.
Fight me.
I
Call
can give
me.
you 47 different burger joints in Sacramento that's better than In-N-Out. Like, seriously. I mean, you're at the point.
I need a list, Jay.
Oh, I got
you and Simone hooked me up with the pizza
Scott's
list.
Burgers on Franklin, right
Okay.
off of 18. Go, it's a Fly Shack. Anybody ever been to Scott's Burgers? They could, just like Simone said, they cooking it right in front of you. No preservatives. You getting the natural. Burgers is bigger than your head. You know, like that sort. Burger Junction, Power In. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna have to go there.
Yeah,
Burger
absolutely.
Junction.
Hobbs and Chopper. Oof. Right down on Broadway.
Nations. I mean, Nations is kind of a fast food type place. They threw one out here in Sacramento, which is out there off of Truxell, across the way from Gateway on Gateway.
Yeah.
And Truxell right there by Walmart and all that type of stuff. Nations Burgers is better than In-N-Out. Hot Buns, Susie's. I mean, I could continue. If we're even talking about, like, some people love Willie's Burgers. That's all, that's your push and pull on that. Squeeze Burger, better than them as well. But if we're talking about fast food, I'll take Habit over them cats, man.
I was going to ask you about Habit. Yeah,
I'll take Habit over
Haven't
them
been.
cats. I'll take Five Guys over them
I was
cats.
just going to say Five Guys.
Don't
is
get
really
me wrong,
good, man. Those fries,
man. Five Guys cost about as much as a Kings playoff ticket. It's gonna hit your pocket, Simone. You're right, but at the same time, you coming out better. And let me tell you something. Anytime you buy anything that comes in a brown paper bag, like lunch when you was in elementary school, is better than what I'm getting from In-N-Out.
Checks out.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything. I mean, I don't know I haven't been to any of those places you just listed off.
I sleep.
I have
NyQuil.
For my money, first of all, I can make. I don't like to go out and spend money on things I can easily make at home.
I'm with
and
you.
a burger is a real easy thing. If I'm gonna go out and spend money on something that's either I can't make or it's gonna take me a lot of time and work to
I
make.
can attest. Ramie makes good burgers
Thank
too.
you. Yeah, I made Kyle a burger with a bacon wrapped jalapeno popper on top.
Wow.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
are you the broil burger? You putting the onion joints in there, like your little crisp or whatever?
I'll mix
like
it up.
how you getting down with
I'll
your
mix it
burgers,
up.
brother? You frying it? You on the grill? You ambidextrous on both hands with the burger flipping?
Probably my go-to is I'll make like a bacon and beer jam.
Oh, now what's the beer jam?
Grill some onions. That's just you just cook up some bacon till it's really
Let
good
it
and
reduce,
crispy.
yeah.
Put some beer in there, let it reduce down to
gotcha.
it's like a little jelly jammy.
Okay.
Some charred onions and some pepper jack cheese melted on top of all of that.
See, but you know what you just said is that's easy work. That's light work.
Yes.
In-N-Out fans, they make the onions like it's spectacular, like they just got this from Mars somewhere. Oh my God, they put the grilled onions on it. Man, go across the street, $1.
For
Get your
my
onion.
money, the best places, I don't know those places Jay just listed off. I'm sure they're all great, and I plan on checking out a bunch of them. Bars are doing burgers better than anybody
Straight
right
up.
now, right?
Yeah.
If you just go to like a bar that's serving bar food,
Yes.
they're doing burgers right on the flat
They're
top.
nice and sloppy.
Oh,
and, yeah.
they smash it down real thin and crispy. Melt some like bad cheese on top.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, you gotta go to Squeeze Burger. They got the Squeeze Burger, got the whole cheese splattered across the like a crime scene, across the plate, man.
Oh,
yeah, you gotta do that part, brother.
I don't want a burger, and my girl's telling me it's Meatless Monday.
Oh.
Well, look, you can do the grab something on the way to the home spin, Ramie. Come on now, you're not.
Don't do it.
And then you just smash it down in the trash can. Put
Right,
some
you gotta
milk on
learn.
top of it. I've never done that before, though.
Why is there an In-N-Out wrapper in your car?
I
What do you
don't
got?
know.
BSing the people.
I dropped Jay off.
You say you dropped some off.
Right, exactly. And this, the other thing for me, why I've really lost touch with In-N-Out is I no longer eat beef. I no longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about
okay.
almost 3 years. I haven't.
Oh,
been eating
wow.
beef. Yeah.
I
So I
can
know
live.
people are like, "Oh, Jay, how you, man? Check this out, brother. I've been eating burgers longer than you've been listening, almost." So my whole point of that is I really don't miss it.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm on the turkey burger movement type situation. But when I was eating burgers, I'd blow past In-N-Out. In-N-Out, man, get them cats out of here.
For me, the money and the calories, it better be worth it.
True that.
It better be worth it. What's in the top spot? We'll tell you right after this. Cattles and Rum.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The warrant allowed deputies to utilize breaching equipment to force open doorways. Was found, taken, and slaughtered.
What?
9-year-old girl had the goat, raised it, and they used a warrant to find the goat and take the goat, and they slaughtered the goat, and the goat is now gone.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sacktown Sports.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
At Game Time Sports Bar and Grill in Oroville, we know that you want to experience all the biggest games and fights of the season in larger-than-life detail on our 22-foot screen.
Bigger is better.
We have a fresh, tasty menu, and don't forget about our self-serve tap wall. Get in on the best action at Game Time Sports Bar and Grill. Bigger screens, tastier food and drinks, and the liveliest gaming experience around. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Family-owned Clark & Rush, celebrating 60 years of serving Sacramento. It's time to convert your gas water heater and furnace to electric. Just turn to the experts at Clark & Rush and Carrier. We electrify more homes than any other contractor in Sacramento. Plus, we'll help you get up to $6,500 in utility rebates. We'll even do the paperwork. Call or visit clark-rush.com.
Smart energy savings is what we do. Clark & Rush.
Call 916-245-2829.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. At Ashton & Price over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
The all-new NBA app is happening and has you covered from coast to coast. With live tip-offs at your fingertips and highlights right as they happen.
Steph Curry drills the three.
Catch every can't-miss moment before, during, and after the game. And behind the scenes like you've never seen.
Let's go.
It's all access, all the time.
Get on through 1, 2, 3.
All in one app. Because if it's happening in the new NBA app. So get the app today.
Folks, there's been some swings and misses, but he's at bat now, and here's the swing. This could be at least a triple, a home run.
Are you looking for a grand slam? Regain and optimize your performance. See what Pacific Men's Clinic can do to make your love life the best it can be. Pacific Men's Clinic's safe and pain-free, clinically proven procedure breaks up plaque and stimulates the growth of healthy new blood vessels. Call for your free consultation now at 916-545-7577. That's 916-545-7577.
ACR Solar and Home Services is here to help you, just like they helped me. Jason Ross here, and ACR did a great job for my family, bringing their impeccable reputation and great workmanship to keep my family covered with a brand new roof. Now we're comfortable and dry during Sacramento's rainy season, knowing our home's structural integrity is protected. Our value is increased, and the home itself, well, it's looking and functioning at its best. The proof, it's in our roof. Now, you could get this same quality experience with ACR Solar and Home Services. Just go to acrsolar.com now to sign up for a free estimate and see all that they have to offer, not only to protect your home and family during the cold and wet Sacramento weather, but also including premium made in the USA solar electric systems. That's acrsolar.com. ACR Solar and Home Services is bringing us all the highest quality, highest value, and integrity since 1979. Go to acrsolar.com. That's acrsolar.com.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your local sports leader in the 916. This is Sacktown Sports. Sacktown Sports.
Headlines. It's Simone Rickford with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Less than ideal result from the Bean team yesterday.
The San Antonio Spurs have come into Sacramento. They have avoided a season sweep at the expense of Sacramento, and they get a victory, 142-134.
Despite the L yesterday, Sacramento Kings are still in the hunt to hoist that coveted Pacific Division banner. They'll get another crack at it tomorrow on the road in the Big Easy, squaring up with the Pelicans of New Orleans.
Pelicans play. Come on, Pelicans.
Of course, our exclusive Kings game night coverage tips off tomorrow as an afternoon matinee showcasing at 3:30 right here on Sacktown Sports and on our Sacktown Sports app. Last hour of the show, we have more NCAA hot takes and, of course, hard-hitting NBA analysis your heart desires. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Top spot coming at you right now.
Did you miss the headline and the top story of the day?
Extra, extra, we know about it.
Don't worry, because we got you covered.
This is how we do.
It's the Cattles and Ramie.
Top spot.
It is the top spot. So discussed on today's show, and today I really couldn't start off this show thinking about anything but that loss to the Spurs last night, Jay. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, the Kings are a fraud because they lost to the Spurs last night, or your season's ruined. It's none of that, okay?
They're soft.
The sky is not falling. Mike Brown called them soft. I didn't call them soft. The sky is not falling, okay? It's still been a great season. There's still a very good basketball team. I still think they have as good a chance as almost anybody to come out of the West. All right, so this is not taking back everything good I've said about the Sacramento Kings to this point. But, there are some wins that are better than other wins. There are some losses that are worse than other losses. And for where they're at, for everything I just said, Jay, for the context, and by the way, Jay Johnson in for the vacationing Nick Cattles today, Simone Cowell on the other side of the glass. In the context of how good this season has been, that was as bad a loss as they could have had at this point in the season yesterday. And that was as bad a loss because you're going up against a Spurs team that has nothing on the line. That is, they're bad and they're sitting their best players. You know what I mean? They're bad and they're sitting some of their best players. Right. I didn't know Julian Champagne was a person and not like a mimosa before yesterday. You know what I mean?
You get at the brunch.
Or a rapper. I didn't know Julian Champagne existed before yesterday. And
Waiter, could I get another order of the Julian Champagne?
Could I get a Julian Champagne and OJ, please? I had no idea, and this man put up 26 points in 28 minutes last night. Doug McDermott rose from the dead and got his fourth triple-double. Or no, he got his, what was it? I had it in my notes.
Fourth in 9 years for Dougie McBuckets.
Yeah. Fourth, dude, Trey, who was it? Trey somebody got a triple-double.
Trey Jones.
Trey Jones.
How did, and you came home to a Golden One Center crowd that was ready. He was ready to celebrate. You made the playoffs. You got a hero's welcome back to Sacramento, and you go out and did that nonsense. That's a hard one for me to swallow, Jay. There's still a very good team. It's still been a great season. That was a bad loss, man. That was as bad as a loss can be for the 78th game of the season for a third-seeded Sacramento Kings team.
Yeah, I get you, Ramie. I appreciate the fact of where you're coming from. You ready to turn it up a notch here in Sacramento as a newly crowned King fan, right?
Who is Julian Champagne?
Champagne.
No! Who is Julian Champagne?
Right, exactly. He was a G League free agent.
St. John's basketball legend.
I mean, that's a lie. He can't be a legend because we never heard of him. St. John's legends, you know what I mean? We know a few of those.
That's like saying Kyle is a Sacktown sports legend. Maybe one day, but no, not right now. I'm sorry. No.
4-year starter at St. John's.
That doesn't mean you're a legend, man. That means you just probably wasn't that good enough to move on. I'm with you, Ramie. As the day has played on, in the beginning of the show, I think you've kind of changed my mind a little bit. HT's changed my mind. Kyle's changed my mind. The YouTube listeners and followers have changed my mind. Some of the text threads. I don't think it is. I'm not taking it as bad as it is because, as Henry Turner said a couple of minutes ago, it doesn't really change the narrative of where you stand in the standings. Loss was the loss, right? It's not going to really play into, you moving up to number 1 or you falling down to number 6. You're pretty much locked into that third spot. Now, I do think you had an opportunity to maybe, mathematically, of course, move up to the number 2 spot, but I just don't see it being 2 games away. But I could understand if you had aspirations and goals to do that, then you needed to beat the Spurs.
Yeah, that was the other thing, man, was the Grizzlies, while you were blowing it to that Spurs team last night, the Grizzlies were losing to a Bulls team that they shouldn't lose to. And you're right, Jay, they made a little push. The Bulls haven't played better basketball of late, but that's still a game that they should win, man, when you talk about the Grizzlies. And even more so, a game that the Kings should have won. You could have been 1 game out of that 2 spot as we sit here today if you just go out and take care of business yesterday. And they scored 123 points in regulation, Jay, and then let the Spurs stay alive and go out there and just dominate them in overtime.
It does keep hitting the same nerve of this defense. How many times we're going to start with this defense isn't good?
Yep.
How many different variations of ways are we going to say this defense is not the best in the league? They're the bottom half of the league, the bottom 7, 8 in the league. And to be understood that when you come home fresh off of clinching in Portland and coming back home to a hero's welcome, which we've seen at the airport. By the way, Simone, because you're the informational young lady on this show, have we gotten any heads up from Sacramento International Airport that they're going to refund our Kings fans their parking fees?
We have no word yet from that corner.
We're going to push that along here on the Cowdos and Ramie show. Everyone who took their time and opportunity to throw In-N-Out burgers and bags at De'Aaron Fox, they should get their feedback. But yeah, Ramie, honestly, man, like it is a bad loss in one variation, and I say that to say during a season you have all teams have bad losses. There haven't been many for the Kings, and so I'm going to give them the excuse. I'm going to give them the pass go collect your 200 on this one, and hopefully we don't see that same narrative, not as far as defense, but a bad loss in the playoffs.
Jay, you said you're having a hard time coming up with ways to describe this defense anymore. Man. Mike Brown had a way to describe this defense, especially on their home court after the loss yesterday.
We have not been good defensively at home. We just, the reality of it is we play sort of soft at home, and I hate to say it, but that's what it is. It's factual. I mean, we have trouble stopping people on our home floor. And the tough part about it is our crowd is fantastic. Our crowd brings a ton of energy, but the energy just translates to our guys on the offense end of the floor. We don't have a lot of guys that want to or that are able to consistently dig in and play at a high level with some sort of physicality on the defensive end of the floor, possession after possession after possession. And, we got 4 games to try to concentrate on that and get that right.
That's the other thing about the loss, Jay. Like at this point, for better or worse, I'm not gonna change my mind on who the Kings are in terms of, they're a great offensive team. You know what I mean? They're a bad defensive team. And the notion that they're not a great home team wasn't necessarily going to be dispelled by going out and beating the Spurs yesterday or whatever home games that they have left in the last 4. but I sure would like to see them start to turn it around and get the arrow pointing in the other direction as far as the home court advantage not really being an advantage to this point, with them literally having a worse record away from Golden One than they do at Golden One. I don't even know how that's possible with the crowds and the energy that they've had throughout this year, and a starved Kings fandom that's come out and just shined in this great season that basketball team has given them.
Yeah, I think it's just, I guess my answer would be just what Mike Brown said. There's some guys that need to dig in a little deeper, put the 10 toes down on the pavement a little harder and go from there. I think Mike Brown doesn't have the answer. And so I would tell you, Ramie, as a person of interested with this team, ain't no need to keep, causing a conundrum in your own mind if they don't know what's going on down there at the G1.
It just is what it is. It is.
Right? Honestly, and again, that's part of Jay's. Kings fans need to get reality push. As you're going to hear from me for the rest of the next couple of weeks, Kings fans have to face reality. And that's, we have a good team, but we have some deficiencies. And I don't think we see that enough from Kings fans. I think we're a little delusional right now.
And that wasn't the only hard truth that Mike Brown delivered at the podium yesterday after that loss. We'll have some other more strong words from Mike Brown and his basketball team after that loss yesterday on the other side of a short break. 90 seconds, then more Cattles and Ramie.
I'm Eric Armstead, and you're listening to Sacktown Sports.
Armstead with relentless pursuit, and Eric Armstead came in and sacked him.
You wanted more Niners?
Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento's new home for the 49ers.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
One brings Macloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports.
What Mike Brown had to say about teams targeting his team in just a second, but got some folks on the phones. You can always jump in, 800-920-1140. You can also text the show, 916-339-1140. You can always comment on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. Give us those likes while you're there. It's easy. It's free content. All we ask for is the likes. But let's get out to the phones real quick. Is this TC? TC, you're on Cattles and Ramie with Jay in for Cattles. What's up, T?
Yeah, I'm back. Ramie, JJ, Simone, how everybody doing?
Great.
Yeah, so look, I'm just listening to you guys. I mean, Ramie, I caught the other day with the whole 45 win thing. JJ, you know what? I'm with you though. Like King, as far as Kings fans, I don't know as far as like just recognizing we got faults too though, and it's not just all perfect. Like when I called before, one thing that that's glaring besides the defense, because that's just like low hanging fruit. But to me, what I notice is when the three ball isn't falling, I know that's how we get all of our points. I know we're a high octane offense. But Mike and the guys have to choose a fine line when they pick, hey, the three ball isn't falling right now in the second quarter, so let's get downhill. Or let's shoot mid-range jumpers. Let's not live and die by the three-pointer. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, absolutely.
I know that's our offense, but we got to know how to pick and choose between those two things. Also, when we get a team in a penalty, like say it's third quarter, 4 minutes left in the quarter, and the team is in a penalty. Well, you know what that means, right? Go make somebody touch you so you can shoot free throws. Don't continue to shoot three-pointers or turn over the ball when we're like 6 minutes in the penalty. You get what I'm saying? I get what I love everything Mike is doing, but to me personally, those particular two things, that's like a team thing. Everybody has to be on the same page with that. Like, move as a unit. When the three's not falling, bro, get downhill. When we get a team in a penalty, get downhill and make them foul you. That's the two things that all this season I have not seen the team correct. And go.
TC, appreciate the call, man. Thank you very much. That second point is a really good one, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is a fine point too, but I'm here to tell you that the Kings are far from the only team in the NBA that's living and dying by the three.
Absolutely.
And when it doesn't fall, they just have no answers.
Yeah, I think the one that kind of surprised me was Minnesota. They were 5 for 27 from three-point land, but the one thing they did do is they were going to the cup, especially in the second half. You could tell De'Aaron was going to the cup. I think that was a game De'Aaron had 18 points, but the team was going to the cup, and they were trying to, get on the free throw line. They missed a few. I remember Malik Monk, who's shooting through the roof. He missed one. And I think they recognized that, but kind of like what you're saying, Ramie, that's just kind of one of the things in the league. We've seen the Rockets, to their demise a few years ago when they were playing the Warriors. The Warriors do it quite a bit. Pretty much all these teams going to continue to shoot. That's like the theory of NBA now. Keep shooting to the fall.
I had a close eye being in Milwaukee last year at playoff time on the Eastern Conference Finals, and I can tell you right now, Game 7 against the Celtics, the Bucks lost because they just could not hit a three for the life of them. Like, their season ended because of it. You know what I mean? So that's if you look at the Warriors, when the three isn't falling, they got nothing, man. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way that this league is right now, and especially for those teams that have really bought into the 3-point philosophy and sort of living and dying by that. So just be ready for that. You know what I mean?
And I appreciate TC, the other thing too, Ramie, not to cut you off, I appreciate TC coming to the table and understanding.
Sure.
Like he is a reputable Kings fan, is someone who's been rocking and watching the Kings and local sports, has good takes and analysis. He understands it. Look, we have deficiencies too, and that's a great way to put it. I'm coming swinging with the right hook a little harder to let folks know, like, look, bro, we got to be on the up and up too now. We're not all peaches and cream over here as well, and as much as we can be the best fans, and as I know G1C is going to be rocking, don't be surprised when somebody come in here and take one from us.
That's what I was just going to say. There's going to be probably a playoff game
for sure
where the three just isn't falling, and it might even be ugly. You know what I mean? They might lose a playoff game by 18, 19, 20 points.
And watch how this
three-pointer ain't falling. And don't jump off a cliff. All right? It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. They just didn't have their shot one night.
That now.
We heard from Mike Brown last segment, calling his team soft and delivering some realities, some hard truths about his basketball team at the podium yesterday. And there's been a lot of talk. Actually, Mike Brown on Mark Stein and Chris Haynes' podcast on Friday, we played a clip of him actually holding up his phone to play bulletin board material of teams saying, hey, we want the Kings in the playoffs. But yesterday at the podium, Mike Brown kind of said, hey, I understand.
If I'm another team, I'm targeting us too. I would target us too. And we're the only ones that can change that narrative.
They're targeting us too, Jay.
Yeah.
I've never been an NBA player. You've never been an NBA player. So I can't put myself in those shoes and say I'd be targeting us too. All I can do is be a fan, Jay. And I would ask you, if you're a fan of another team, try and put yourself in the shoes of, I know this is hard for you.
Yes.
You're a Lakers fan.
I'm not doing
Don't
that.
do it. Don't do it.
I'm not doing that, Ron. You got to give me another team. I already know where you were going.
You're a Warriors fan.
Timberwolves.
You're
give me T-Wolves.
No, I wanted to give him one of the teams that's
Clippers.
That's accomplished something.
Clippers.
Okay, I'll give you
worked for the Clippers.
All right, okay.
There you go. Thanks.
Clippers been good for 12 years.
And you're looking at this Kings team and the playoff drought and Domas and Fox and doing their thing and all that. How do you perceive the Sacramento Kings?
Vulnerable.
Mark.
That part. What up, fool? What up, Mark? That part.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Pretty much.
I can't be mad at anybody who looks at him that way, right?
Yes, and it's just another level of, again, I'm asking, and I'm gonna continue to push this narrative until April the 10th or what? Yeah, April the 10th. The playoff game is it April 10th?
Today is
That's the end of the regular season.
Yeah,
but
so it'd be what, the 12th, I believe, is first
15.
game, right?
I think it's the weekend.
Yeah,
unless they changed it this year. It's always
Are we
Saturday,
talking
Sunday.
play-in or
Wednesday or
actual
Thursday.
playoffs?
Yeah, it'd be a Thursday they would play, or
I think it's-
or Friday.
I want to say the 14th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which is
because
the
play-in is Tuesday, Wednesday,
Tickets
Thursday.
go on sale April the 10th.
Oh, yeah. He's right. Kyle's right.
Okay.
Play in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, playoffs Friday.
Yeah, man. Since the pandemic, man, my timing has been completely off.
I know. I love that collective thought to try and get there just now.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? 2 years ago, it's like, no, that was 4. That was 5 years ago. Oh, I forgot the pandemic. Like, literally, my time has been off. But I do think, yeah, I would be looking at the Kings as vulnerable, not proven.
A mark?
That part.
Mm-hmm.
Soft, unproven, punk, as we heard in that. And, yeah.
The Kings of the Mark.
I wouldn't want to play Denver. I wouldn't want to play Memphis. They've been there. They're a little more physical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as we've seen, there's a couple guys who might get in your face. Phoenix, for sure, I don't want to play just based on I know I got to see Kevin Durant and Booker.
Yeah.
Who else would you be targeting? You can't target the person next to you. You can't target the 10th team because they're not going to make it.
Got to play one of them.
There you go. Why wouldn't I? If I'm looking at the top 4 and if I'm in the bottom 4, I have an opportunity, 5th, 6th, 7th. Yeah, I'm trying to position myself to play against the Sacramento Kings because of this. You have some people who's going to get on here, and we talked about this, Ramie. It would be great if they beat the Lakers, the Warriors, and the Suns on the way to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
That would be
just slaying giants.
Come on now.
Took out LeBron, Steph, and Kawhi.
Absolutely.
And
That
KD.
Disney movie. Disney Plus movie. Absolutely. But that we know in reality is probably not going to play out that way. So if I'm the Lakers, if I'm the Clippers, because I'm never going to be Lakers. If I'm the Clippers.
Cut that.
Please don't. I'm looking.
Don't worry, I hit the dump button for you, JJ.
Thank you, brother. I love you, Kyle. If I'm looking at who I'm choosing from, you're going to have some people who want to be He-Man, who want to be a hero.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I want to play the best and to beat the best. Man, no. We're looking to try to get the easiest route to the championship, knowing that we're going to have some bumps in the road, Robbie. Mm-hmm. Is that not what you're doing?
Right. No, you're right. And I think that's how I'd perceive them too, JJ. I've brought up a few times already my history as a basketball fan and observer. I grew up in the 90s with the Bulls and Michael Jordan. I was in Milwaukee to see Giannis and that Bucks team reach the highest of heights and have a good long run that they're still in. And when you're in that position where you've reached the mountaintop and you've been fighting for the top spot on the mountain year in and year out, and this new team comes along and makes some noise, and their fans are pounding their chest a little bit and making some noise. My response is, and Kings fans are going to hate this, but I'm just telling you, this isn't how I see them. I think they are formidable. I think they are a very good basketball team. But in places like Los Angeles, in places like if you're a Golden State Warriors fan, if you're a Clippers fan, and you either have guys or have teams that have been there and done that before, I was looked at it, and this is the most condescending, most demeaning, diminishing way that I could put it. I'd always be like, "That's cute."
Mm-hmm.
Y'all cute. That's very cute what y'all are doing there.
Absolutely.
Cool. Very, very cute what y'all got going.
That's fighting words. Mark, soft, same thing you're saying.
I think that's I think if I'm a Warriors, not if I'm a Wolves fan, Pelicans, you know what I mean? But if I'm one of these other teams where I've got the guys that have been there and done that, or just a team that's been there and done that, that's cute. Yeah. It's very cute what you guys got going.
I'm not a coward. Bring it. Bring it.
And
Warriors, Clippers, bring it.
That's how Kings fans should be.
Yes.
And that's what's going to make this great. It's Kings fans and the team. We're all going to learn about this team, and the team's going to learn about themselves all at one time, because you can believe if them chumps from down in L.A. at the Crypt come in, they're coming to win for sure. They're not coming to just be a part of this. They see the Kings and LeBron guaranteed. LeBron, let me tell you, because I've been in locker rooms with LeBron and all these different things, have an opportunity to do that. LeBron talk worse than what we do right now. Believe me.
For sure.
LeBron is not, oh my goodness, we respect the Kings. Yeah, in the public.
In the public, yeah.
Behind closed doors, man, give us Sacramento, please.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're trying to come.
Exactly.
We're trying to come that way.
A lot of people had a lot of thoughts about our burger discussion. I'll try and squeeze some of those in. Also, we got to preview tonight's
nasty ones, Ramie.
national championship game in college basketball. But after this, Henry Turner talked about this team. Their home record. Are they soft? How do they fix what's broken before the playoffs start? You'll hear from the High Flyer coming up next.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sacktown Sports. Tune into the Sacktown Sports headlines at the top and bottom of every hour on Thursday and Friday
for your official 2023 Masters Tournament leaderboard updates.
The return to glory. Congratulations, Tiger. The long-awaited Masters has a long-awaited champion in Dustin Johnson. Matsuyama Scheffler outshines them all.
Sacktown Sports coverage of the 2023 Masters Tournament is brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will be clear tonight. The winds will be diminishing. And for this time of year, it's going to be a cold night. Our overnight lows will drop into the mid-30s. We'll have bright sunshine tomorrow with less wind than today and a high near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, capital, and everything in between. Learn about all the benefits of being a business banking member at valleystrong.com.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Ace fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
He drills one to right, way back, and no doubt. And that quickly, the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
If the sticker price markups that new car dealers are demanding are scaring you away from a brand new vehicle, you can still get the vehicle you want and save thousands at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. M&S Auto has literally hundreds of gently used but beautiful Silverados, Rams, and Tacomas. And if you love muscle cars, they've got Challengers and Mustangs too. M&S Auto Sales. Great cars and trucks and fair deals every day. Come and get yours. msautogroup.com.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop garage sale of nearly new showroom clubs is on right now. With discounts up to 75%, you'll find full sets of irons, metalwoods, wedges, and more at the Hagen Oaks garage sale featuring $500,000 in Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio closeout inventory. This kind of opportunity is rare and available right now. Visit the Hagen Oaks garage sale and find discounts up to 75% on selected clubs at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Sacktown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sacktown Sports headlines. Less than ideal result from the Beam team yesterday.
The San Antonio Spurs have come into Sacramento. They have avoided a season sweep at the expense of Sacramento, and they get a victory, 142-134.
Despite the L yesterday, Sacramento Kings are still in the hunt to hoist that coveted Pacific Division banner. They'll get another crack at it tomorrow on the road in the Big Easy, squaring up with the Pelicans of New Orleans.
Pelicans play. Come on, Pelicans.
Of course, our exclusive Kings game night coverage tips off tomorrow as an afternoon matinee showcasing at 3:30 right here on Sacktown Sports and on our Sacktown Sports app. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Kyle, please hit that call back.
I'm going to light up these phone lines.
The phone is ringing.
And we are checking to see who's on the line.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
News, gossip, a story.
Okay, who's the next victim?
It's the callback.
On Cattles and Ramie.
It is time for the callback. Jay in for Cattles today. I'm the Ramie half of that. You heard Simone on the update, Kyle on the other side of the glass. We also had a chance to talk with another member of the Sacktown Sports family, Henry Turner, Kings radio analyst, host of Game Night, which you can hear tomorrow, 3:30. Get you ready for Kings and Pelicans. I jumped ahead. Pelicans tomorrow.
Beignets.
Pelicans.
Po' boys.
5 o'clock tip off.
Well, we talk about food in this show, Ramie.
But I asked, I'm going to get to your burger comments on the YouTube page coming up in just a few minutes here. I asked him, man, I thought that was a pretty bad loss yesterday, High Flyer. How did you see that loss to the Spurs yesterday?
Because it doesn't hurt anything. They still are exactly where they are. But when you start talking about making that next step and going to that next plateau as far as the playoffs, yeah, it bothers me. It bothers me the same way it bothered Coach Mike Brown. It bothered him a lot because he understands. See, the thing about it is that, Nate, everybody on that roster except 2 guys, they haven't been there before. They don't know what it's like. And it's a different style of basketball by every stretch of the means. When you hit playoff time, after that first game, there's no surprises. Everybody knows what everybody does, and it comes down to straight-out execution. And when you don't execute, you will get embarrassed in the playoffs.
And that's kind of what bothered me about it, JJ. The 2 seed is part of it. They could have been a game out of the 2 seed if they won yesterday. But a lot of this is just, I've been saying for, 20 games now since I've had them locked into the playoffs. This is about learning about this team at this point, and them learning about themselves leading up to the playoffs and just how formidable a contender that they are and how much noise they can make. And now 2 chances you've had, 1 to clinch in front of your home crowd, and then 2 to come home and have a celebration in front of your home crowd with a cherry on top being a W over a bad Spurs team. And they just did not seize the moment. I would have liked to see him seize the moment.
Yeah, I think that's, if there's anything I'm taking away from that, I agree with HT. I don't think it's a huge loss when it comes to standings and the grand scheme of things on who you play and all that type of stuff. But I do think there's an emotion, there's a feel, there's something to it to where, more for the fans. We wanted to see the clinch at home, beat the Spurs coming off clinching, and let down, man. And it's tough when you're a fan and you put all the time, the effort, the money, the monetary situation into it, and especially when it's been long and drawn out over a decade and change, almost 2 decades. I can understand where a lot of fans are like, man, that was a big loss, and I can understand where you're coming from when setting the morality of moving forward.
Speaking of that 2 seed. And getting to 50 wins, I asked how big are those things to Henry Turner, and how big is getting these guys healthy and rested before the playoffs start?
You know what? We were going around and around with that early on last game. And I'm like, it's kind of a catch-22 type situation. I understand the end-all game for the Kings is that 50-win plateau, right? Now, is that going to equate to that second position? It maybe it won't. My thing is that if that 50-game plateau don't equate to that second position, why go for it? You want your guys playing at a very high level, and most importantly, fellas, you need everybody healthy for when you go into the playoffs. So that might mean cutting down some minutes for some of these players who played these long minutes. De'Aaron Fox has played a lot of minutes in this league. Sabonis has played a ton of time, and he still is playing with a broken finger. So, it's kind of one of those type of things to where is it that you want to be at the end? Is the 50 more important than coming in healthy at the end with the playoffs? You really have to weigh that out, and I'm wondering how Coach Brown is going to really just manage all of that.
I'm torn on this, Jay, because I've been saying for a while now I'd really like to see 50 wins. That's a statement to me. That says something about this basketball team. I think they have a legit – when you look at who the Grizzlies have left on their schedule, I think they have a legit shot at the 2 seed for whatever that's worth and however easier that makes their playoff path. But at the same time, we talked a lot about these minutes, like really – not just heavy, but hard minutes that Domas and Fox are playing. And I can see both sides of this argument. I'm sort of right on the fence about which way you go. Push hard, try and get 50 wins in that 2 seed, or ease up a little bit and rest up before the playoffs.
Give me the rest side. I'll take the rest a little more than the shooting for the 2 spot, but I understand. I play to win, Ramie, so I get what you're saying. I play to win a championship, no matter if on paper I don't look like I'm going to win a championship. That's just me. The fact of it is I think the staff, the coaching staff, I think some of those guys in the upper management, they have that same mentality. I think they're playing to win. We talked to Coach Doug Christie, who said that hundreds of times on this station when he was hosting. Mike Brown seems to believe that. You can believe Leandro Barbosa probably feels that way because that's what the position he's been put in quite a few times with the Warriors. And, I mean, look, if you want to win, then you got to play to win. So if that means staying on the gas pedal throughout, then that's okay. Repercussions might come down at the end when you might need that extra leg for the jumper, in the playoffs. I tend to, at this point, kind of see no more room to really wiggle. And for me, if you win the second part of it, you move up to the second seed, I think you're going to play one of the 3 or 4 guys anyway you would play at 3. Doesn't really mean nothing to me. But I get if it means something to you, a notch in the belt, a goal, those type of things.
And that's the wild thing, JJ, and the High Flyer made this point too. It seems like no matter what seed you end up in, you could very well end up with a very tough matchup in the Western Conference.
It's crazy right now because when you look at the overall situation in the playoffs, think about it. All the quote-unquote championship or bust teams are in that lower echelon. All right, when you talk about Golden State, okay, you talk about the Clippers, you talk about the Lakers, all of those all of those teams are down in those lower positions. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a situation to where who would you rather see in the playoff time? And let's say if everybody gets healthy and everybody gets full strength. They're talking about Wiggins is coming back for Golden State next week.
Yep.
So that's going to push them to another level, big time if you ask me. All right, LeBron and AD, if they ever get it together, you got a Superman and you got a Hulk. They can do some big things down there.
I only have one problem with what he said there. He crossed DC and Marvel. Superman and Hulk. Those are two different, two totally different worlds,
platforms,
man. Two totally different universes. Other than that,
they don't exist, Ramie, is what you're telling me?
No, they've never been in any movie or comic book together. Other than that, everything HT said is on point, man. This Western Conference. You've got some giants to slay, no matter what the road is to trying to win an NBA championship.
Get your slingshot ready because it's about that time, Ramie. I'm with you, man. It's going to be fun. I was sitting there looking up the ticket prices for the last game here against the Warriors. Yeah, that's going to be 2 and some change. The least I see right now on Vivid is $241, and that's nosebleeds. Right now on Ticketmaster, $280 for Warriors. And good luck with the April the 10th tickets going on for playoffs. So with all that being said, sit back, at the house, your local establishment, your local watering hole, and get you a nice burger, as we talked about, and enjoy, because I think that's what we're getting ready to see in the Western Conference.
People had some strong thoughts on our burger conversation earlier.
Yeah, I don't know.
I read some of those on our YouTube page, and also there's something going on in college basketball tonight. JJ will tell me what that is. That's coming up next. Cattles and Ramie.
The Sacramento Kings are finally returning to the NBA playoffs.
It's been 6 years, so people saw me when I came in the league at 19, and they see who I am at 25 now. So I just want to say thank you for being along this journey with me. But like I said, we have a lot more things to accomplish.
Tune into Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
For the most in-depth Kings coverage in the 916.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by RC Willey Home Furnishings.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will be clear tonight. The winds will be diminishing. And for this time of year, it's going to be a cold night. Our overnight lows will drop into the mid-30s. We'll have bright sunshine tomorrow with less wind than today and a high near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
New flooring instantly updates a room. RC Willey has an incredible selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate. Their experts will help you find the perfect floor for your home and schedule a free in-home measure. Shop RC Willey in Elk Grove or Rockland today.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?
Andrea's Boutique Hotel is the destination to tie the knot.
Oh, you want the whole property?
She needs an assistant to catch the bookings bouquets.
249 guests, huh? Oh, and 3 dogs.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad gets us through heartache.
Chin up, sport.
Oh, hey, TV Dad.
You know what heals all wounds?
Time?
No, it's remembering that drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
But Jen still doesn't want to be with me.
True. I actually saw her with your friend Brian earlier.
Wait, what?
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
I'm Jenny, senior designer for Cleo & Wolf, and this is Behind the Designs with Boot Barn. Cleo & Wolf is a vintage-inspired, effortless collection with a country sensibility. Each design is thought out and crafted so that it becomes a special staple in her wardrobe. Even if it's just an article of clothing, there's so much meaning to that. In her most authentic, natural state is where her beauty and her confidence lives. Cleo & Wolf, only at Boot Barn.
ATM Mortgage.
When times get tough, you need a lender that gets even tougher. Hi, Jeff Tarbell with ATM Mortgage. We can still show you an affordable path to home ownership, and all you have to do is call 916-338-9400. That's 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net.
ATM Mortgage.
License under California CFL and MLS 223-4889.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
Growing a business brings pressure. It's not easy to maintain momentum and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there is Insperity. Their scalable HR solutions help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving my employees competitive benefit options. When my people are able to thrive, my business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sacktown Sports.
On the drive against AG, puts it up short, rebound, AG. AG got the rebound. Here are the Aztecs down 1, 4, 3. Lamont Butler, pull-up jump shot. Good. They're storming the court. Who's going to the championship game? Not FAU. No. The San Diego State Aztecs are going to the NCAA championship game on Monday. How about them Aztecs? How about them boys?
San Diego State Radio Network on the call, Kyle?
Yes, that is Uncle Ted
Network.
Leitner, who's been calling San Diego sports for 43 years on the call.
Good old Uncle Teddy. And he'll be on the call again tonight.
That he will
San
be.
Diego State Aztecs as they go for a national championship. National championship, Jay, against UConn.
Woo!
On Saturday, I was home. I was binge watching Dave. It was Dave and baseball all weekend. That's what I was doing.
What was the best baseball game you came across this week?
Cubs and Brewers on Saturday was a pretty good pitchers duel. It was a really good. It was Brandon Woodruff against. Now I'm drawing a blank on my guy from the Cubs who had an absolute day.
It's probably the song.
No point in me trying to remember that. Nobody cares.
Kyle Hendricks.
No, it wasn't Kyle Hendricks. It's their young guy. He's a young. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, my phone. I get a text alert, and it's the group chat. It's the show group chat. It's me, Jay, Simone, Nick, and Chris Verlot, former member of the show, who's now with Deuce and Mo, but we kept him in the group chat nonetheless. And Verlot said, "Wow!" All caps, 3 exclamation points. And then I forgot what Jay, you sent something too. I don't know what
like SDSU's got a heck of a shot. I mean, has an opportunity to win one, good shot or something like that.
And Verlot was like, "Oh, I was talking about WrestleMania," and Jay was like, "I was talking about the national championship." I was like, "I don't know what any of you
To
are."
America.
I don't know what any of you
To America.
are talking about right now. But apparently, a pretty good game. A pretty good game that we saw that you just heard the climax,
FAU.
the crescendo of right there. FAU is out. It'll be San Diego State and UConn. Jay, Kyle, Simone, I don't know if you do college basketball. What kind of game are we looking at tonight? Let me just ask you this. From an entertainment standpoint, the style of basketball these two teams play.
This is the thing about San Diego State. They will muck it up in every sport. They love football 17-10, basketball 50-45.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't.
But I do think UConn has the firepower to turn it up and score 100.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if they do it against San Diego State, but if they're staying as hot as they've been playing and their stars really come out and play, San Diego State, as much as I hate to say it, they probably get ran through.
I know I'm stating the obvious here with them being a 4 seed and a 5 seed, but this is not who anybody had in their brackets, right? This is not the national championship game.
UConn more likely than SDSU. SDSU is the second non-power conference team in the championship in like 30 years.
Wow. Had no idea. All right.
Also, we're in the business of curse breaking here. Sacramento's broken the curse this year. San Diego has not won a championship in any sport since 1961.
I know that's right.
Football, basketball, baseball, college football, college basketball, any Division I sport.
I didn't realize this. I saw somebody on Twitter say last week they were hoping the Padres could bring home the first professional championship ever for the city of San Diego. That's wild.
I'm already on record saying they will. I think they've had an opportunity the last couple of years. Injuries have really caught them off, and of course, Tatis. We're not even gonna get into that. Last year, but look.
He's wearing his Tatis Jr. jersey.
Yeah, you've got to put out a good product. And a lot of products that the Padres have put out and the Chargers have put out haven't been and the Clippers back when they were San Diego, they weren't very good. So
I forgot the Clippers were in.
To be expected of why they haven't won a championship. Now, San Diego State, they haven't in basketball. They've had a few teams, as I was telling Kyle during the break. The pandemic year, man, I think they went 20. Something like 22-2. Yeah, some crazy.
So
in conference, they lost only 2 games outside of conference, something like that. Crazy. And then pandemic shut them down, whatever. They've, for the most part, they've underachieved in the tournament. San Diego State has. They've had good teams, and it seems like they just can't get past the Sweet 16 some kind of way.
I was just looking because usually these primetime games being here out west, they'd have tipped off by now. Like I was about to be like, oh, we should turn this on in the studio. This doesn't tip off till 6:20. It's going to be 9:20 in Connecticut.
Ridiculous.
Why? What is that? What is that all
They're
about?
trying to maximize, I guess,
the San Diego crowd. The San
No,
Diego
they
market?
do this every year. It's so dumb. It's so dumb that they start at 6:20.
That's late. I mean, good for us, but that's late.
I'm not complaining.
I will put this on TV number 2 today.
That's fair.
I'll give it that much.
What's number 1?
Number 1, probably
baseball.
Probably binging Dave again.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
So you're watching Dave, and then you're okay. Good bucket.
You see that shot? Yeah. And then if it's close at the end, little swap, little flip flop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Switch.
San Diego State is, Jay alluded to this. This is either their 3rd or 4th best team of the last 15 years, and they just happen to be the one that has made it to the championship with losing in the final 2 minutes of their last 3 games, and they've won all 3 of them to get here. And as I said earlier, they're the biggest underdogs in a championship game in 25 years.
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I am. It's one of those things, Ramie, where, and I said this a little earlier with the UConn situation to Kyle. I'm not a UConn guy, because UConn has won some championships by basically being led by one person. And I'm not, that's just pure sports hate. Like, you know, I'm keeping it sports wide. The Kemba Walkers, the Napiers, Shabazz Napier, Rip Hamilton with the lucky little bounce against Washington. Yeah, like Khalid Alameen, you know, they've already won enough. Like, move them to the side. Let's get San Diego State in there. Of course, we want to keep it on the West Coast. And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. But I say all that to say top-end talent lies with UConn. A team, they've been helped through the pandemic, had some guys that's been there for quite a while and being part of. Yeah, like that's San Diego State. So you're kind of looking at San Diego State as a team compared to top-end talent, UConn.
We were talking about predictions. I guess I'll take just for Kyle, San Diego State.
San Diego State's probably going to lose by 25, but that's just how I do fandom. It's set the expectations at 0.
Jay, how do you see this one?
Give me San Diego State.
We're breaking the curse, baby.
North Carolina
We're all
State
San
style.
Diego State here.
All right. A couple of
Aztecs.
your comments about burgers. We were talking about In-N-Out getting thrown into Deer and Fox's car earlier. Martin says he likes his animal style with grilled onions. Okay.
All right.
Quizzy says people in that In-N-Out line need to get a cell phone and order pickup. So many people don't know how to use internet pickup. That is true. Couple people, and Simone says she worked there and vouches, saying Red Robin.
Red Robin's good.
Got that burger smoke.
I used to work there.
They do.
Really?
Yeah. Especially the one with the egg on it. That's a joint. That's that joint.
Love an egg on a burger.
The Royal Burger. Yep.
Man, that is
What's it called? Royal Burger?
Yeah, Royal.
Our thanks to the High Flyer, Henry Turner of King's Game Night, which you can hear right here on Sacktown Sports. If you missed that or anything from today's show, you can check it all out at sacktownsports.com or youtube.com/sacktownsports. For Simone, Kyle, Jay, I'm Ramie saying thanks for listening to Cattles and Ramie. Nick is back with WrestleMania Tales tomorrow at 2. I paid $40 for an A's ticket and got to pitch the 7th.
I've never been to an A's game. How much should I buy them for, JJ?
Cold-blooded.
$4. You shouldn't buy them.
For free.
You work at a station that gets them. So
yeah,
I mean,
I think we got the hookups.
Yeah,
oh
for
my
sure.
God.
I'm not buying that official gear in the store. I'm not
Give me
in the new
bootleg.
air outside.
Yeah, give me the bootleg.
in the parking lot.
The guy that's got the tent on
$15.
the
Yeah,
corner.
for sure.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
You get a cat when you leave, right? Don't they have a bunch of cats down there?
You grab a dog, a cat, whatever you want.
You can take a piece of the stadium with you too. It's falling apart.
I love cold blood, man. Cold blood. Just sticking a knife.
We are gonna lose our partnership.
I love
Keep your heart. Man, these girls are smart. 3 stacks, these girls are smart.